This is the Riot Squadcast, a supporter-driven show dedicated to LA Galaxy news, information, and opinions. Here's your hosts, Ed Rodriguez and Chris Zero Cool Tucker.
Welcome to the Riot Squadcast. My name is Ed Rodriguez.
What?
Oh, sorry, no, it'd be, my name is Ed Rodriguez.
There you go. Terrible.
Hey, what's up? Y'all, we're having a little bit of issue. Well, not us. It's actually Ed this time that's having the internet issues. I'm pretty sure he's freaking out over there. We might need a safety check. Somebody go over there.
Thank your fucking president for not doing shit about the coronavirus. So Ed has to sit at home and can't be
Really?
here.
Really?
Yeah.
You think
What?
you think that's why?
What? The COVID? Well, it's the excuse, but it's,
Yeah,
you know,
I mean, come on.
It's fine.
Yeah.
Ed doesn't like to move very much. And now he gets to be, he gets to sit at home. But anyway, hello. Welcome, everyone. Welcome to, oh my God, Benjamin. Squadcast 199?
199.
199? I was supposed to do like 3 of these.
I know.
I was supposed to do like 3 or 4 of these max in an hour.
Dude, when I sent you guys that email, hey, come on in, let's do some stuff. I'm like, all right, maybe it'll last, couple months.
Do you remember which
there.
episode that was?
I think it was early, dude. It was like Panama was the first episode, so whatever Panama is.
Ed's in the Discord going at you. I love.
Yeah, we
I've
debated
missed
this.
it.
We debated whether or not to start the show without Ed. Ed is trying to find an internet connection, but you know what?
I think it's more than like you immediately talking shit about this guy.
Oh, well, he's not here. Fuck him. I love you, Ed.
You do have a high pitched voice, though, Ed. Come on, it's about time, man. Puberty's got to be around the corner. But hello.
Are you kidding? Have you seen his beard? Puberty ain't around the corner for that kid.
He's doing his best.
He needs like HGH shot. He needs to go messy.
How dare you? Welcome everyone. Welcome to another week. Welcome to another month? I feel like I haven't been here in a while. I've been out of commission for a little bit, but
it's nice to see your whole face too. I mean, like, man.
Your boy's working on it. Your boy's working on himself.
Look at you. I mean, dude, I swear, dude, you almost see cheekbones and shit, Tuck. It looks nice.
I got a dimple on my left cheek that I want to come back. My face cheek, yeah. My butt cheek's got mad dimples, but I'm trying to work on this health just a little bit. Nothing too crazy. It looks like Ed's just about on his way back, which is nice to see because I'm not good at this part. But
I know.
Benjamin, how was your week? How you been doing?
You know what? Not too bad, man. I'm back at work for the first time in like.
Sorry to hear that.
Yeah, exactly. Kind of tired. This whole working thing.
You don't really work, do you? Do you work? Like, do you work when you work?
I don't really work necessarily, but I'm at work. I mean, I gotta
I'm
go
not
in.
home.
I mean, I gotta. Well, I gotta be honest, Tuck. I was 50 miles away from my wife and kids, and that was the most relaxed I've been in I don't know how long.
I feel you, man.
It was kind of nice.
I'm the exact opposite. Erica's at home now, and it's been amazing.
It was. Don't get me wrong. It was great for the first little bit, but then after a while,
Start stretching.
Yeah.
But I'm like, with my school schedule and taking care of the kids, and particularly taking care of Damien, like any bit of relief is amazing. And so I've had, if you guys don't, who listens to this that doesn't like? Presumably someone listens to this that doesn't follow me on Twitter, right? That likes.
No, dude. Well, it depends. Listening live, I guarantee you, every live listener we have right now.
Well, there's people on Facebook,
Twitter.
right? Like there's people who are on Facebook.
Maybe.
Facebook is terrible, but I assume there are people who are on Facebook who aren't like Twitter people who listen to the show or like knew Ed and I back in the day. That's the thing. I still can't really get my head around the idea of people being like, I listen to you and Ed. So that's still strange to me. I get the reading Twitter thing because like I read Twitter, but it's strange for me the whole like I just follow the words you say. So like that seems strange to me. But anyway, if you don't follow me on Twitter, like your boy's not Teflon. I got COVID and it fucking sucked.
But you didn't change the handle, did you? I think it still said Teflon. I was on there
laziness,
today.
man. I meant to do that like 4 times and I would open up Twitter and then you know what it came down to? I would go to change it and I would open up Twitter and I would see someone's dumbass opinion. And I would go, well, let me argue with this person for a second.
You're like shiny things.
And then I'm getting that looked into.
Yeah.
And then I would just like I would get angry and start tweeting at them, and then I would close it, and then I would just move on with my life. And that's what everyone should do. Like, and really what everyone should do is stop doing the arguing part, and then just like.
That's what Twitter's about, man.
Yeah, but open Twitter, look at it, see that you disagree with someone, close it, move on with your life.
So-
I'm trying to get to that point.
I was trying to talk to my sister. She was thinking about going on Twitter, and my sister's older than me. I ain't gonna say how old she is because not that she's listening.
I can't tell if
she ain't listening to this. She's 54.
I can't tell if my computer's terrible or the stream stopped working. Both are possibilities.
Yeah. I'll look into that.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Either way.
Eventually, it's coming back up. But no. So she was talking about Twitter, and I was trying to explain to her that Twitter is just an angry place. And then I was thinking, I don't really know if Twitter is just an angry place or if that's just because it's Galaxy Twitter that I'm always on. And that is always an angry place. But I'm pretty sure Twitter's it's made, it's like there's not happy things on Twitter.
You know where Galaxy Twitter is not as toxic as everyone says it is when we're good. And the problem is the season didn't go great and it became really, really difficult to watch the club. And then it ended. And it ended in a really weird, bad way where your star player, seemingly refused to play until the coach was fired. There was just a lot of negativity around the club. And if we end the season that way, it just stretches that way until we start playing again. So Galaxy Twitter is going to be pretty disgusting for the next, 2 months? And then preseason will get started. Hopefully we'll have a good game or so. Start announcing some contract signings, and then everything will be fine.
Maybe. I mean, it depends on the contract signings. I mean, can you imagine if they get this coach wrong or if they sign another player that's, I don't know.
Chicha?
Exactly.
Oh, no. People
people are going to lose their effing mind.
But that's not the direction we're going. We're going positivity today. We're going self-healing bin. We're going mental health. Everything's going to be fine. So I'm just going to read Ed's rundown because he's way better at these transitions than I am. I'm really not very good at it, and I don't know what's taking him so long. And as a good co-host, he says he's not coming back. So that's awesome. Well, we'll see. We're supposed to do COVID updates to start with.
All right.
So,
what's that say up there?
He moved closer. Yeah, I don't know. It's in the Discord. Yeah, I got COVID, man.
Congratulations, by the way.
Yeah, I got COVID. I got COVID in everything so my grandfather, peel the curtain back a little bit, and which my wife explained that apparently I phrased this poorly. My grandfather is not dead. He's just old. He's old and he's slowing down, and he's the most important man in my life, and I'm kind of coming to grips with his mortality. And so I tweeted out about him and his mortality recently, and he's not dead. He's okay. My family are doing their best to isolate him away from COVID, and he ended up getting it. So good job. And he ended up getting it. We all got it. We had one family member that kind of broke the cycle, and we don't know how she got it, but she ended up spreading it to everyone else. So I got it inside the bubble that we were trying to create for my grandfather. He got it. He's going to be fine. By the time you listen to this, he's officially out of the woods. So that's great. He's 81. He was 6. He was 6 when fucking Hitler was killed, or when Hitler died. I'm going to go with was killed. Fuck him. When Hitler got smoked by America, by freedom, he was 6 years old. He's an old man.
He's in relatively good shape?
Nah. Not at all. He doesn't really move. He sits in he's like, you know what he's like?
Well,
imagine me at 81.
Yeah, I was going to say, you don't really have to move all that much.
He sits in his chair and he watches sports, and he's the last time I saw him, he's like, man, I'm really happy I lived long enough to see the Dodgers and the Lakers win in the same year. That's he's an LA guy, man.
That's pretty sweet.
Yeah. So he's glad, he calls the Dodgers bums. He's been calling the Dodgers bums since I was a kid. They're one game from winning the World Series. He'll call him a bum. He's been a Dodger fan 50 years. He's a great, as Matthew Alisana says in our YouTube live chat. If you're not used to that, we're on youtube.com/Riot Squadcast. My grandfather's a great man.
Yes.
I aspire to be remotely close to him. But yeah, I had one of my aunts that are in the circle. They brought COVID in, and that's how I got it. Everyone did what they were supposed to, except one person, and it went through literally everybody. So wear your mask, people. We've been telling you this for a long fucking time. Wear your goddamn mask. We're all on the other side. My family's doing well. My wife got it really bad. Erica got it really bad, and she's a trooper. She still took care of everybody because that's how she rolls.
Because that's what they do, man.
Because she's got it. I'm a guy, man. I got a cough, and I'm like, baby, help. And that's not Kawhi Leonard. Sorry, I'm like, honey, help me. I'm useless. And she was like, She was down for like 2 days, and then after that, she was back up kicking ass, doing way more than the rest of us.
Gosh, she fleeted out a picture of the two of you when you're just kind of laying there. Yeah. It's a nice picture.
But everybody got sick, bro. Everybody.
What about the baby?
How'd the baby got sick.
Really? How'd the baby react?
He had a fever, and he was like really lethargic and angry for like 2 days. And then he bounced back and was cool. Older kids got it. They had it for about a week, and real bad headaches, fucks with your body in a real weird way. But yeah, everybody's cool now. Everybody's all right. So, got to watch a lot of soccer. Maradona died during COVID for me anyway. I'm going to remember that. Greatest soccer player in history. So yeah, man, COVID is a bitch. I got nothing else on COVID, man. It sucks.
I was watching rugby. I know you're not a big rugby guy.
I get into rugby, but I don't know rugby, but if it's on, I won't actively change a channel. I won't actively change a channel to get away from golf. If rugby's on TV, I'll watch rugby.
There was the Tri-Nations between Argentina and New Zealand I was watching, and it was cool because New Zealand brought out a jersey with the number 10 Maradona and just like put it.
Oh, they did the haka for him.
Yeah,
I saw that.
The haka for him.
Yeah.
It was pretty sweet.
Yeah, I love the haka. Matt showed me Matthew Alessano. You don't know my man Samoan Matt. I've known him since I'm 11, 12 years old. He showed me the haka when I was like 15 years old, and I was like, "This is the greatest thing I've ever seen in my life."
Yeah,
and he's right. I mean, it's still, Maori dances and fucking hakas.
Dude,
so.
One of the coolest experiences I ever had was when the Sevens used to come here. I don't know if they're back in LA. They switched between LA and Vegas. But afterwards, they would all party down in Hermosa. And a good friend of mine is he's an international referee. We used to be neighbors when I lived in Redondo. And so we were down there, and the Aussies were not the New Zealand, the Kiwis were down there. And it was like, there was only 5 of them, but the 5 of them, like in the middle of the dance floor at the lighthouse, just started doing the haka. Like all the music stopped, everything, and the 5 of them were doing it, dude, and it was just like goosebumps. Everybody, it was pretty cool.
That's what's up. It's not in his rundown. Now that I'm thinking about your haka story, it's not in his rundown. We got to talk about Maradona.
Yeah.
How the fuck is that not in our rundown to talk about? I mean,
it's not here. We can talk shit about him.
We can talk 3 hours and fucking piss that off. Yeah, Diego Armando Maradona, man, 60 years old. God.
It was coming. He'd been sick for how long?
Well, he was in the hospital for a little bit. And I think they said he died of a heart attack. And that's just years of abuse catching up with you. Yeah. Which is a shame, but if you're addicted to any substances, this would be a great time to start working your way off of it as best you can. You don't have to quit cold turkey. You don't have to, you don't got to pour everything out or throw everything out. Maybe one less drink a day, whatever moves you towards progress. I'm all for it. But, yeah, it sucks. It sucks to lose that dude. So, I mean, 60 is, for me, 60 is a decent life. Like, I know for you, if I'm like, Ben, you're going to live to 60, you're like, damn, I got 3 years left. But for me, like 60 seems like a decent life. Tucker sucks. But I think about where Diego was, and like 60 still just seems young for
when you think of a professional athlete, 60 does seem young.
But Maradona hasn't.
For a soccer player, the Pele's 80.
But Maradona hasn't looked like a professional athlete in 30 years. I mean, not 30 years, but it's been a while.
He never looked like a professional athlete. That dude, come on.
Watch. You can go. Look,
everyone go. No, I'm not saying he didn't play like it. But, dude, come on. You see that dude on the street, you're not like, oh, greatest footballer of all time.
Oh, my God. I see Maradona on the street, I drop to my knees.
Well,
and I'm like,
you would now, but like, if you didn't know who he was.
You can't go on my mouth, but can I jerk you off? Can I give you something?
Come on, did you let him come in your mouth? Come on.
Nah.
It's Maradona.
Nah, it's too far. That's way too far. I mean, come on. That is a homosexual act, Benjamin.
Dude, you wouldn't let him.
Job is respect.
You wouldn't let him, but he'd hand to God you and just go in there.
You gotta do what you gotta do, man. That's his prerogative. Yeah. But like my wife would I was dealing with COVID during the time. Erica would come in to check on me, and she's like, "You doing okay?" I was like, "Yeah." Watching Maradona at Napoli, like watching Maradona at Newell's Old Boys, watching him at Boca, watching him for Argentina, watching him for Barcelona. You can go to footballia.net right now. It's free to sign up. Create a username and a password. Go to the search bar, type in Diego Maradona, and fucking educate yourself. The man was a genius, one of a kind. Might not see a talent like that again. And what you got to keep in mind, Maradona was Maradona at a time players didn't get protected like Messi gets protected, or doesn't get protected like Ronaldo gets protected. Where, yeah, Ronaldo takes a little more damage than Messi, but Messi gets the shit kicked out of him every Clásico. He gets the shit kicked out of him when they play Espanyol. He gets the shit kicked out of him when he plays Atletico Madrid. He gets the shit kicked out of him when he plays English teams. Like, watch Maradona play and look at how he gets destroyed, and players don't get a yellow card or players don't get a caution at all. It's a whole different world. So
it's like current MLS.
Yeah, it's current MLS versus like 98 MLS.
Yeah.
But watch this guy and educate yourself as best you can. He's an outstanding, or was an outstanding talent. Rest in peace, the GOAT. I watched this video of him at San Lorenzo Stadium holding up a San Lorenzo jersey. I almost wore my San Lorenzo jersey today to honor him, but I was like, he never played for San Lorenzo, so that wouldn't make any sense. And he wasn't from Buenos Aires, even though he played for Boca. But yeah, man, big ups to Maradona the Great, and yeah,
he lived. I mean, that's one thing you can say. I mean, that dude, he lived. Yeah,
he lived way more than me.
He lived way more than just about everybody.
Not
man.
you, but he lived way more than me. You got secrets we can't talk about. But he, you know, when I think about my life in comparison to Maradona, it's really not close. But yeah, man. So that's Diego. That's a nice intro. That seems easy. Ed should do this, man. He's so much better at this than I am. And last but not least, we have we're supposed to talk about your Thanksgiving. Which Thanksgiving good? Is that time accurate already?
Yeah, that time's accurate. Well,
all right, we gotta move on.
we started a little bit later though.
Okay,
that's accurate with the recording when we started recording, but it's probably 2 minutes behind where we're actually at.
How was your Thanksgiving? Be quick on that. We'll try to be quick.
It was all right. I mean, you know, didn't feel like Thanksgiving. I mean, outside of the whole, I mean, we made a turkey. We did everything here at home, everything that we would normally do. But my family has a tradition of playing a soccer game, kids versus adults, and I'm kind of glad because now the kids are all getting a little older.
So you can put a shoulder into them.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, dude, I mean, I do that to my 9-year-old anyways. I'm like...
She's complaining. You're like, they didn't protect Maradona.
Yeah, but...
What do you want? You want to get better?
All the other kids, they're all getting older. Like my sister's kids they play very high level. I mean... And I'm like, I'm kind of glad the soccer game didn't happen.
Are they like balling you, or do they ball you up when you guys play, or is it pretty much evens?
It's pretty much even, just because of the fact we're bigger, smarter, quicker, you know, a little bit. But like, now that they're getting older, I mean, like my niece plays what used to be DA, you know, and same thing with my nephew. He plays ECNL. He was in the Galaxy video back. Remember when Steven Gerrard and Robbie Keane played against a billion kids?
Children, yeah.
Yeah, he was on there, and he was running next to Gerrard, and I remember he goes, I wanted to slide tackle him, but I was afraid I'd hurt him.
It's like, nah, don't touch him, man.
Yeah.
This is too precious. Don't fuck with him.
But, like, they're all older now. Like, I'm like, we're going to start needing to mix up the teams. But I miss my family. That's the point of it. Like, I miss that part of Thanksgiving. Other than that, it was great to spend time with my wife and with my kids, and we had a great Thanksgiving meal, but it just wasn't the same.
Yeah.
Wear your fucking masks.
Yeah. Nah, this Thanksgiving was amazing. This is the greatest Thanksgiving that's ever been. I don't understand people who are like, I just want to see my family. No, you don't. You hate your family. You don't want to spend time with them. You know what? You know how I know you hate them? You know how I know you don't want to spend time with them? You don't spend time with them in April.
I do.
No, you bullshit. You're here every week. You're here all the time.
No, but I do spend a lot of time with my family.
But again, though, you missed your family.
Yeah.
You like your family.
Yeah.
For the people who only see their family during Thanksgiving, hang out with them in April. August is right there. You can hang out with them every day in August. You choose not to. But there's something about like Thanksgiving and Christmas and Hanukkah, if that's your thing, Kwanzaa, if that's your thing, whatever anybody's into, Festivus for the rest of us. Around this time of year, everyone feels the need to be around their family. You know what family and Thanksgiving means for me? Like my treasured childhood memories for Thanksgiving and Christmas, really.
Well,
Go ahead.
You're not going to get too deep here, are you?
No. What do you mean? No, I didn't get like molested or anything.
Okay, yeah. I was just making sure.
No, it's not. It's not like that.
I don't want like you to be all crying and me have to come hug you.
It's like, Ed, you weren't here. I don't know what happened. No, like one Christmas we had. Was it Christmas or Thanksgiving? It was one Christmas or Thanksgiving. I sat in a chair in the living room, and like 7 members of my family sat in a semicircle of chairs, and we talked about me being an atheist for an hour and a half. Like, this was a family gathering. This is how they chose to spend their time. They were like, "Oh, Chris is here, so we're gonna make him tear our fairy tales apart." And that's exactly what I did.
They're gonna convince you.
No, they didn't. All I did was poke holes in their dumbass story.
That's what they think. They think, "Oh, we're gonna." Yeah. I
was like, "Yeah, well,
Merry Christmas."
Why don't men have less ribs? Like, why, you know? There's a part of the Bible where they say like, hey man, if you rape a virgin, this is how much you're supposed to pay. So when I bring that up, they're like, oh, well, what about Jesus? And I'm like, I'm not talking about Jesus. I'm talking about the atrocious rules in your book. Do you want to talk about your book? Now we're getting off track. Now we're getting off track. Look, this is why the only deities I believe in all kick soccer balls.
See, this is a perfect lead-in to wishing Fredo a happy birthday.
Fredo, happy birthday. My man, Big Fredo. My man, Big Fredo, happy birthday, young man. I don't know how old you are, so I'm going to say you're 27. Fredo is an amazing member of the Riot Squad. I've known Fredo for a long, long time. He is a Squadcast day one, man. So I want to give a big shout out to my man, Big Fredo. As well, if I can tie a couple things in, Bob Ramsey, big time Larzer, married some people in the Riot Squad as an officiant because he's a pastor, priest. I don't know. He likes Jesus.
Pastor, yeah.
Pastor. Thank you, Ben. His grandson was just born. Theodore Robert Ramsey was born on a strong name. Strong name, Bob Ramsey. Theodore Robert Ramsey was born to Chris Ramsey and his wife, whose name I don't know, although I have met her once, on November 28th. So I want to say congrats to Bob Ramsey. Your bloodline passes on, sir. Couldn't happen to a better guy. And today is Eduardo Hurtado's birthday as well. So in overall, people, you guys are in, at least Fredo, in great company. And I don't remember his name either, but it's Josh Gessman's youngest child's birthday as well. His youngest son.
Really?
Yeah, spaced on his name. 1 year. Bro, it comes fast, man.
Damn.
This year has been a nightmare. So we lost a whole lot of time. But let's make some time up with some Galaxy talk. How's that sound? Does that seem better?
That was you know what? It's a nice transition.
Is it? What do we want to talk about first? You got to help me
it's
here.
funny
I'm not good at this
because
stuff.
you talked, we're going to talk Galaxy, but the first thing on the rundown is we're going to talk Angel City FC.
Naturally, because I don't pay attention to the rundown, Ben. This is how this works.
Yeah, so they chose the Stank as their home field.
Are we still calling it that?
Yeah, we're still calling it
Is that? Well, they're eliminated. Like the name is changing next year, and they're not. Okay, Bank account. They're playing at. Can you call
Does the
it?
place not stink? Someone took a shit in there. Some girl dropped trow.
I can't believe
dropped a deuce.
I can't believe I watched a woman do that.
Dropped a deuce, and they expect us to
Hold on.
ever drop the name the
Hold
Stank.
on, let me clarify this. I didn't watch her take a shit.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
I acknowledged that she was taking a shit and averted my eyes because it was strange. But I wasn't like, holy shit, I'm put a glass table under her. It wasn't anything like that. I was
You weren't like all R. Kelly or anything like that.
yeah, I was moderate. I was, I come on. We're all people here. Yeah, Angel City FC playing at Bank of California. What do you think, Ben? Because that's the thing. I haven't had a chance to listen to the Megapod, so I don't know if you guys got into this yet. I didn't want to.
We didn't really get into it on the Megapod.
Okay. Well, I'm down with it. We can talk about it.
It was
How was the Megapod? We didn't talk about. I should mention that.
we should yeah, the Megapod. It was a good time.
3 hours.
It was a little crazy. Yeah, it was 3 hours.
With like 13 people.
I was looking around for Andrew because I thought he would have been in there since it was a 3 hour fucking show.
We got to wait on a vaccine.
Yeah.
You can't do digital.
I know.
13 people.
Well, I was gonna invite Andrew to come on, but until I get like the 50-inch TV that's bigger,
Hey, leave my man
can't.
alone. Andrew's got enough on his plate because this girl's all about Christmas, and this time of the year is not really Andrew's flavor. So stalling my man out.
Andrew, you need a hug? Call me. I'll come find you.
Yeah, he's all hugged out right now. He's good. But
But
Angel,
okay, so check it. So
Go for it.
So Megapod.
Sure.
It got
First thing I'm seeing in the live chat is Megapod was chaotic.
It was a bit chaotic. It started chaotic. It got better. Raul did a great job moderating, keeping everyone under control. Probably should have talked a little bit more before we did it, but it is what it is. I think only 2 hours went out in the live feed, but I think they put the other hour that everyone's just kind of messing around talking.
Okay. Where can I find it? Because I want to listen. I'm going to listen.
I would love to tell you we could find it.
You don't know?
I don't know.
Okay.
Wasn't on the rundown. Wasn't expecting it.
Can someone in the live chat please let me know where I can find the Megapod? And if you don't know, Riot Squadcast and Simply Soccer, Straight from the Stands, First to Five, Corner of the Galaxy. I'm definitely going to forget somebody. LA is Our House, Nag News. I think
Straight
that's
from
it.
the Stands.
I did Straight from the Stands,
Okay.
right? Straight from the Stands. Everybody came together, did a virtual Megapod to discuss the end of the season, current state of the Galaxy. It recorded the absolute worst day of my COVID symptoms, so I couldn't call in. Sounds like you guys had enough people talking, so I'm assuming that was okay. But I would like to check it out. So if anyone can let me know where it's at, that would be big benefit. And if you're just a Galaxy fan looking for a little extra content in the off season, maybe you save it until there's a lull in the podcast, and then you got something you can check out everybody. And the whole point of these megapods isn't so that like I can yell at a new listenership. It's so that you can hopefully find someone who has an opinion a little closer to your lane. So say you disagree with me all the time, and you're like, hey, I want to tweet to Tucker that I disagree with him, but he keeps telling me he just blocks people who disagree with him, which isn't true, but it's pretty close to true. Maybe the girls and the guys at Simply Soccer, a little more your lane. So maybe check them out. Give them a little extra love. Maybe LA is our house, a little more your lane. You check them out, give them a little extra love. At the end of the day, it's all about raising the bar for all the Galaxy podcasts first. Because, and this part's very important, the greater the content and the greater the pull and the audience of the Galaxy Radioverse, I think that's what I'm going to call it, podcast verse, what have you. The stronger that entire system is, the more accountable the front office that you don't like has to be to them. And it's not so that those guys can get in, but it's so that those guys can give you, the average listener, a voice if we develop to a level that the front office has to listen to all of us. So we'll try to do this hopefully once or twice a year, get everybody together and have a big old discussion. Hopefully next time we get to do it in person.
That'd be nice.
Virtual doesn't really sound like it's going to work. Maybe virtually we can segment it. We're like we do, these couple guys together and these couple guys together and these couple guys together and just break it up. I don't know. We'll figure it out.
No, we talked a little bit about that kind of maybe at the end or maybe it was off air, but just about doing more interpod stuff.
Yes.
So this off season, hopefully we'll have some of those guys on.
Get it figured out.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. But yeah, it was chaotic. It was a good time. Go check it out. I think it's on Straight from the Stands feed.
Bro, I'm not going to lie. I'm looking pretty good in this camera right now.
Yeah, dude.
Looking pretty good. No, I mean like.
Well, dude, yeah, look at you.
I mean the weight loss. Weight loss is not. I'm not trying to big up me or nothing, but I used to look like shit. I don't know. My wife is just a saint. The fact that she lets me love all over her. But I mean, I'm not looking great, but I'm looking okay. I'll take this okay. I'm trying to.
You look as strong in that jacket, right? It's slimming. You'll be all right.
First time I fit in this jacket. Literally the first time I fit into this jacket. I put it on today, and I was like, all right, this works. But yeah, Megapod, check that shit out.
Definitely.
Angel City FC, Benjamin.
If my girls want to go see it, I'll go up to the stank and take them up there to see it.
Okay, that is a reasonable opinion.
Would I go there other than that? Probably not. I just don't want to deal with downtown, honestly.
I ain't going downtown.
Yeah.
It's not going to happen.
I mean, that is the one good thing that there's many
it's
good
the
things.
Post-COVID glow.
Yeah.
I lost 7 pounds during the coronavirus. I lost a stupid amount of weight. And I had already been working on losing weight. So it's, I'm not saying get it, but if you're in decent health and you're looking to drop some pounds, that seems like a liability. Don't get coronavirus. Wear your mask. I want to go back to the stadium.
No, if you're in decent health,
I want to go back to the stadium. Wear your fucking mask. Wear your mask. Get your vaccine. I want to go back to the stadium.
So Ed has decided, dude, Ed, just call the damn show.
Yeah. Well, I think he assumes the phone number doesn't work, which is usually the case.
I think we fixed it last week or a couple weeks ago.
That's true. Why are you flexing and being all swole zero? I've never been in worse shape than I am right now. I've lost weight, but I'm in pretty horrendous shape. So I'm soft. I got a soft chubby going on right now.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa.
What's up, Ben? How you living? How you doing? How's it going?
I'm not quite sure how to respond to that. Ed, call.
I'm seeing. Ask me if I lost my taste and smell. I lost my smell for about 4 days, and
really?
That was fucked up.
You didn't lose your taste too?
Mm-mm.
I lost both for a while. That was fucked up.
Nah, I lost my taste for a bit, or I lost my smell for a bit rather. I never lost my taste. I would make tea, and it. So I quit drinking coffee. I talked about this on here.
Yeah,
right?
you quit
I stopped
drinking coffee like a month ago.
I quit drinking coffee a little bit ago, and so I just make tea like all the time. And no, I guess I did lose my taste for a bit because I drank tea for probably 2 days, and it just tastes like water. It tastes like hot water. Yeah, COVID sucks, man. COVID is fucking awful.
Dude, but it's not as bad as the flu. Like.
Oh, now you sound like this dude.
No.
Now you sound like this guy in Corner of the Galaxy's chat. He knows who the fuck he is, and I ain't gonna mention his name. Because I'm not being a tough guy, but now you sound like that guy. We'll close it. We'll close the chat as the numbers get big. As the numbers get bigger and bigger and people start dying, we'll just close the Discord and he won't even need it. But yeah, no, it's a little worse than the fucking flu, Benjamin. Sorry, I'm good. I'm all right now. Let me close this door. I apologize.
Was that you? Or was that someone out there in the
ruining
door?
my zen? Sorry, what?
No, I'm just saying it's no whatever.
I just don't want to yell and upset your neighbors.
Dude, please. It's Gardena. If someone's
That's why I'm not trying to upset your neighbors, because I'm not trying to have them honing in on me. I ain't dying in Gardena.
Right, so are you going to downtown to see Angel City?
I'm like you, man. If my daughter wants to go, if my little girl wants to go, I say my little girl, she's not gonna want to go. Like neither of my kids have any interest in sports. Sonia, my daughter, is most likely, like, she watches women's wrestling with me. She won't watch the men, but like if the women are wrestling, she'll check it out. If she wants to go, I'll go. Yeah. If my son wants to go, I'll go. I'm not going to downtown for me, for non-Galaxy reasons. That's just, if I can avoid it. I barely go downtown for Laker games, and I support the Lakers. You know, if I'm a huge proponent of, if you want to go to an Angel City FC game, that's your prerogative. I'm not here to spend your money. That's on you. Everyone should do the thing. I feel like I've been saying this year. This has kind of been my mantra this year. Do the shit that makes you happy. If you want to go, go. If somebody tells you you have to go, tell them to go fuck themselves and block them and move on with your life. You don't need that energy in your life. Yeah. You don't need the energy of someone telling you what to do. You need the energy of someone going, hey, go be happy. And if doing that makes you happy, then go do that.
And don't let the stadium location, or the fact that it's not the Galaxy Stadium, prevent you from supporting a team. That's just stupid.
Yeah,
that's my take.
I mean, it's whatever you want. I mean, I'm my anger still gets directed in the same place it's been directed on the NWSL from day one. Galaxy should have rectified this shit years ago.
Yep. Years ago.
This is This is, I mean, and look, whether they played at the Vic or whether they play at Bank of California,
Stank.
The Galaxy are doing. I don't know. I feel a little uncomfortable calling the stadium the Stank if it's a women's team. I can't.
No,
if that's you, dude. Hey Ben, do the thing that makes you happy.
Stank.
Do the thing that makes you happy. But if the Galaxy created an NWSL team years ago, this wouldn't be an issue.
Or if they just held on to the soul.
Well, they tried.
If Ann Schultz just holds on to says, "Hey, I'm going to support this for more than 1 year."
Well, they tried the cheapest option. The cheapest option was having someone else fund a team and have that team play at the Vic. But that's AEG's model. AEG, when it was about moving a football team here, when it was going to be the Jaguars, they didn't want to buy the Jaguars. They wanted to build the stadium and lease the stadium to the team and make their nut that way.
They want 30%.
They don't want to build a team.
It's kind of like what is with Staples? They have I think it's 30% of the Lakers is what AEG has.
I don't know. I know they got a piece.
Yeah, they got a piece, something like that. And I think it was the same thing with the football team, but no football team was willing to sell them only 30%. It was either buy the whole thing.
Well, the NFL. Of what I remember, and I could be wrong, I'll ask a buddy of mine who will remember pretty clearly. Of what I remember, the NFL wanted them to own the stadium and own the team.
Yeah. And
operate the team, and that's not what they wanted.
No.
That's not what they wanted to do.
It's not what they do. It's not. It's the AEG. I mean, outside of a couple of soccer teams, they're a venue. They own venues. That's what they do.
But be mad at, direct your anger, direct your rage. I think my main point is don't direct it at the ladies playing. Don't direct it at the women playing. Direct it at ACFC's front office if you would have rather they been at the Vic. Direct it at the Galaxy's front office if they were unable to seal that agreement and get it done. Again, I get increasingly confused as to what Chris Klein does. If this is a business, if this is not a team building thing, this is the executive business side, and that's clearly not working. Or if it is the team building and that's clearly not working. So I don't know what you do. I guess 2020 is just a wash for him. But I wish I at a minimum, I like that it leaves open a window for a potential future Galaxy women's team. There's a potential. I don't know that it's going to happen. If I'm looking at the two teams, really, if I'm looking at the two locations, them playing downtown, not selling out, but doing well downtown. Maybe that shows there's enough interest in the region that two teams can do it. I know historically with women's teams, it's more the suburbs and more the big money area, which is where the Vic is. So it seems like Carson would have made more sense, but that's the thing. I heard something. I just don't remember where I heard it. So I don't know if I can talk about it. Of what I heard, LAFC just got it done. And that's, how about this? I'll figure out where I heard what I heard, and if I can talk about it, or if it's been talked about. And if I can't, I'll tell you next week. And if I can't, then, tough shit. But
yeah. I was just wondering, Tuck, if maybe it was a matter of the fact that
they barely operate the Galaxy. That is true.
Well,
AG barely
also
operates
the fact that maybe the Galaxy said, okay, if you're gonna play at our stadium, we want you to train at at StubHub also. Or
we got 50 fields.
I know, but maybe they didn't want to pay that price. Maybe Angel City's like, hey, we're not gonna, we don't want to pay what you have. Maybe that's what I'll be interested to see where they train.
I will say I would imagine money was very important.
Yes.
Let's leave that there.
Yes, exactly.
I imagine money was extremely important.
And like you said, LAFC got it done.
They got it done.
Yeah.
Look, they're your rivals. You hate them. You know whatever your feelings on them are. They got it done.
And they don't own the stadium. They don't own the stank.
LAFC, I didn't know that.
No,
well, there's
the city does.
5,000 owners, so how could any group of them own it?
Yeah, the city owns the stank.
Okay. Well,
so, and maybe it was easier to work out a deal.
I can tell you unequivocally, I'm not going to go up there. One thing I want to make sure I don't pass over when it comes to ACFC, when you highlight the level of failure from the Galaxies not being able to get it over the line and to get this team playing in Carson. We closed our girls' academy for this. Like I read a post while I was prepping for the show. We recently dumped $1 million+ into the girls' academy. We just closed our girls' academy.
Yeah.
Because why would you develop girls to go play for LAFC? I mean, it's not LAFC's team, but the marketing is pretty similar. Not only did we not secure, if you're an NWSL fan, if you're a women's soccer fan, if you're just a soccer fan, because you should be an NWSL fan if you're a soccer fan. If you're like me, that's why I go Portland Thorns. If you're like me and you've got an Irish Football League team, you should have an NWSL team.
Call from.
I can hear it in my ears. It's weird.
To accept, press 1. To send a voicemail, press 2.
Oh, well, that's weird. Who's here?
Andrew.
What's up?
Sully, what's up?
What is this? Is this a podcast I'm calling into? I don't remember what this is.
It used to be. It was when Ed was here. How are you doing, sir?
I'm doing all right. Where's Ed?
His internet's all crazy, man.
Wild.
I'm half expecting him to come walking through the door, but
also at this point, like you and I are just having a conversation about where Ed is, so it's it's all good. How far are you from here? You coming down?
I'm close to where you live, so no.
Oh, yeah, that's a good call. I'm fairly certain. I just got a text from Erica. It's a misdemeanor for me to be outside.
I don't want to put my location out there like that.
Oh, yeah,
I'm just kidding. I live in Long Beach. Everyone knows I live in Long Beach.
What are you talking about? What do you think? Let me ask you. Let's keep it on track. What do you think about ACFC going to Stank of California?
I mean, I would have preferred it not to, but honestly, I'm not that invested in it. Yeah, regardless,
doesn't really matter.
Yeah, I mean, I'm happy for. I mean, we've got a lot of friends, obviously, that are Galaxy fans that are in the supporters group over there, and in the different supporters groups or whatever. Yeah. And I don't know. It's not going to be my thing, but if anyone wants to be down with it, I'm not mad at them for it.
Absolutely. You should be. If your anger is going to be focused somewhere, it should be at the people who weren't able to deliver what you were looking for, who obviously tried to deliver what you were looking for and just got beat by somebody else. It happens. It seems to happen to us a lot.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure why it was ever up for. Like, it shouldn't have been a coin toss or whatever. We should have been able to get it done regardless of what they were doing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree.
It shouldn't have ever been to the point where it's us or them. It should have just been us.
Yeah. But did I tell you what happened?
What do you mean?
With ACFC thing?
No, what happened?
I'll let you know later.
Yeah,
I'll talk to you later.
We talked about it. I don't think.
I don't think it's anything I can disseminate.
I don't think publicly. I remember we talked about it. I don't think it was something that we said we were going to talk about on air.
Yeah, I'll tell you later.
Oh, okay. All right.
But it's
probably,
it's
you probably did tell me.
You should get. Who's your NWSL team, Andrew? We got to get you a team. Say Thorns.
Orlando Pride, because it's not the Thorn. Because those are the two that I know.
All right, yeah, that works. Orlando.
Is Boston Sky still team?
Yeah.
I thought they were the Boston
Breakers.
Breakers, yeah.
Yeah, no, I thought
it's like a New York Sky Blue or something. I don't know.
The Sky Blue. I don't think they're in New York anymore. But
I want everyone who listens to this show to adopt an NWSL team, and we're gonna get fucking toxic as shit on Twitter about it. I want people yelling at each other. I want racial epithets being thrown around during NWSL games just because like Orlando's playing Portland. I assume Andrew's yelling these things at me, so it makes a little more sense that way. Are you hanging out for the whole show? What's happening?
I think it's cool that Portland does, like men's type support for the Thorns. I respect that.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, you got it. The Riveters is the Thorns supporters group, and they are like specific for the Thorns, and they rock the exact same way the Timbers Army do. They love that. Yeah,
they do tifos and like big ass tifos and shit. And I respect that.
It's the way it should be.
But ultimately, I don't care. So
it's crazy. If you look at the attendance numbers for the LA Soul in the year that they operated, NWSL as a whole just broke their average attendance record for what the Soul was able to do back then. Like, there's a market here. I don't know if ACFC are going to blow it out, but they could potentially change.
It's a pretty small sample size, to be honest, from what happened to the Soul, and like a good portion of that number comes from those first 2 or 3 games when they were double headers. I think there was 2 games that was double headers.
Yeah, I definitely attended at least one.
Yeah, I went to one. I only went to one game. I don't think it was the first one. I think it was the second one.
Well, good on the ladies. Wish them the best of luck.
We had Marta.
Marta was fucking dope.
We basically had the Pele of the women's game.
She was like a pit bull. I don't know if you can say that, but she was like a pit bull. But this is what needs to happen. Galaxy needs to start Galaxy Women's. They need to sign my girl Maca Sanchez from San Lorenzo and name her captain and fucking rock that shit out. That's the world I want to live in. Maca Sanchez, captain of Galaxy. Andrew, you hanging out for the show? You hanging out for a bit? What do you got to do? What do you got going on? You hang out.
I called because Ed was there. I wanted to find out what was going on with that, but I'll hang out. I'll be here.
He kept trying to get back in, but his connection's just not happening. So we can just press on. Yeah, let's just keep rolling.
We're talking about
ideas,
especially since Ed didn't fucking call in for whatever reason. I know. Thank you, Andrew.
Let's do a Shark Tank type show.
What do you mean?
And I'll be Mark Cuban, and Ben can be the woman from the Shopping Network or whatever, the QVC.
Sexist.
And Chris can pitch us ideas.
I can pitch you ideas like in relation to the Galaxy.
Sure. Actually, that'd be a good idea. That's actually not a bad idea. Yeah. On the fly,
I'd like a little bit of prep time, but well, we can do that when we get to the roster building part.
Well, why don't we talk about, speaking of roster building?
Go for it.
Why don't we talk about 15-year-old Alex
Nube
Alcala?
Alcala? I don't know how to pronounce it. I'm be the first.
I think it's Alcala.
Let's go with that.
Andrew, the Galaxy are touting a 15-year-old as a big signing. Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
I mean, it's a good thing. Definitely a good thing. The fact that it gives us press is a good thing. But what I am interested in is how quickly another 15-year-old becomes Chris's new Galaxy crush.
Already. It's done. It's a done deal, baby. Wait, who was the last one? Oh, I guess.
Well, I don't know about a 15-year-old, but there's another teenager. Let's put it that. Another teenager for Chris, the Galaxy crush on.
That is a long list.
Chris is fastly becoming the pedophile of Galaxy soccer.
I don't want to fuck him. Like I'm knowledgeable about the academy. I think the academy is the way. Look, you're in Southern California. There is no excuse for us to continuously miss out on young developing talent here. It's inexcusable. The fact that FC Dallas and Philadelphia and New York, all these other clubs are bringing in kids through their academy into the first team. What is it? Caden Cole, something like that for New York. 17 years old, scoring in the first team. There's no excuse whatsoever that it's like, no disrespect to the kid, but there's no excuse why Ethan Zubak at 21-22 is the guy you got. Julian Araujo, who you had to fast track so fast, you couldn't even get him on a homegrown player deal. There's no reason that you look up and down the lineup and it's like Daniel Steris is the guy who made it through the academy. Efrain Alvarez, when he can get a game, is the guy who made it through the academy. Like, at this point, that shouldn't be the way it's ran. And the fact that the people in the upper echelons, I mean, I don't know if they haven't seen it or they don't see it or it's I'm assuming at this point they've tried to rectify it. It's just such a long process that they can't, it's hard to start tying these things down. And you're seeing improvements. Perez got a first team deal. Dunbar got a first team deal out of necessity. Koriniak got a first team deal out of necessity. Like it's I don't know why it's not a plan, and I don't understand why. Like I can see it. How the fuck can't you see it?
They also, I mean, they had a little adversity. I mean, I don't want to stick up for him completely because you're right. There is no excuse.
What was their adversity?
Except for the fact that they had one of their coaches pointing people to an agent that was moving them off to Europe.
Yeah.
I mean, how do you let that guy stay in the organization?
Maybe you don't have a coach whose brother is the agent of your players.
Yeah, exactly.
Like maybe that seems like that seems like something.
Well, here's my question: is if we keep Mendez and we keep whoever else went to Wolfsburg, do those kids become like our Aronson? I don't think they do. Do you know what I mean? Like, do those kids, because they're about the same age as Aronson, right? And Aronson's about to go to.
But those kids are.
Where's Aronson going?
Those kids
He's going to Leipzig, right?
I think to Leipzig.
Yeah.
Those kids are on the cusp of national team friendlies. I mean, they could have balled here.
But do those kids ball out on the first team like Aronson did in Philadelphia? Is what I'm saying.
Part of it is Galaxy culture. I mean, we don't have a culture of playing young people.
That's not true. We don't have a culture of playing young attacking players.
Yes.
Young attack. I got into it with someone on I think Corner of the Galaxy's Discord group. And if you're not in that, you should. It's a lot of fun.
Gosh.
Where they were saying, we need to start bringing through young players, and it's like you look at the young players historically who make it through. We're going to tie this back to Alex, I promise. Didi Traore, defender. Daniel Steris, defender. Dave Romney with congrats on your extension.
None of them came up through the academy. Traore played with the academy a little bit, but he didn't come through the academy. He didn't start U13 and come up.
No.
None of those guys did. The closest we have is Alvarez, and that's it.
Alvarez is a bona fide, potentially anyway, bona fide Galaxy home run for someone developing through the academy. He's now, it looks like he's working his way into it looks like he's working his way into a battle for his signature between the Mexican national team and the U.S. men's national team. So you have a potential special talent in Efrain coming through, but you look at how difficult it is for him to get a game. He got a solid chunk of minutes with Hernandez, and we saw a result.
Yeah,
we saw a result. I'm someone who believes you should play Efrain more central. This wing position isn't working. I get playing him on the wing because Leggett was kind of the de facto central attacking midfielder this year, and it was arguably, for my money, Leggett's best season since Bruce left, so it's kind of hard to unseat him. But every time you play Efrain on the right...
Can we say it's pretty ridiculous that Berhalter thinks that he can play wing on the national team? That's pretty ridiculous, right? He's too slow. He is,
because I saw a lot of anger and a little bit of, I don't know if it's anger, but I saw the reaction to those Berhalter quotes. Efrain is definitely faster this year. Like he says in his comments, like he's developed and he's matured from last year, which is absolutely true. Efrain is faster than he was last year. He's bigger and stronger than he was last year. Still might not be enough. He definitely still looks like he needs to lose a little baby fat. He needs a season where he like fucking grinds. Like I don't want him learning soccer from Rolf Felcher, but I want him working out with Rolf Felcher for an off season. Like he needs to tone up and to add a little bit of muscle because he could get faster. He could be more athletic. Let me say that. Technically, Efrain's got the skill. Like technically he's on, but there's more to the footballer physique Efrain could kind of figure out. And it's hard for me to say that as a fucking 258-pound man. But
hasn't that kind of always been a knock on Efrain though? Like is his motivation there? That's kind of.
I assume we got to get back to Alex, but I assume that's I've always I think that's the issue. But to speak on Alex Acala, is that what we're going with until proven otherwise? Full name Alejandro Acala Solario, something similar to that. Usually I would have Ed pronounce that name. His birthday is October 20th, 2005. he would be, if he joined Galaxy 2, which we don't know yet that he is, hoping to get some information on that soon. If he joined Galaxy 2, if he went straight in, he would be the youngest person on Galaxy 2. He's 276 days younger than Nathan Varela, number 59. He's a forward. Didn't get any real playing time this last season. He's from Lodi, I think it's pronounced, California, from Central Cal.
It's Lodi.
How do you pronounce it?
Lodi.
Lodi? See, I don't drive anywhere, so it's I don't know anything. He plays central midfield and attacking midfield, so something similar to in the vein of a Jonathan Perez. If you watch G2, he's 4 foot 10 inches right now, so it's 15 still got a lot of room to grow, and it looks like we have him till he's at least 18 years old, and then after that, the agreement is he'll go to Manchester City. He's eligible to go to Manchester City at 18. We don't know necessarily that he'll go to Manchester City, but that's kind of the basic rundown of the guy.
Yeah, I had a question about that.
Mm-hmm.
I saw that part, the Manchester City part. Are they allowed to do pre-contracts like that? Like, that almost sounds like colleges giving scholarships to, like, 12-year-olds,
Mm-hmm. I don't think it was a pre-contract as much as it is a kind of more of a dibs.
It seems like it's an agreement.
Yeah, it's more of like, hey, in fact, I don't know if there was a price set. I think it was just Manchester City said they had some sort of agreement.
It sounds like he is theirs.
Yeah.
But it's more like they would. This is just my understanding from what I read. It's more like they would sign him and bring him into their academy if they could, but Brexit rules are going to stop their ability to bring in kids who are under 18. So he can come to the Galaxy. From the Galaxy's perspective, we're going to pause the ACFC complete failure. From a Galaxy front office perspective, stroke of genius. Manchester City can't bring this kid in. The Galaxy can bring him. He seems like he's a blue chip talent. I talked to a friend of mine who works around G2. He seems like he is a blue chip talent. They view him very highly. Manchester City can't bring him in. Galaxy can bring him into their system. Teach him, let him grow, let him develop. Maybe he helps develop some other guys. Maybe he helps develop a Jonathan Perez. Maybe he gets you some connections to some other people. Maybe at a minimum, he just strengthens the club's ties with a big team like Manchester City. We got Uriel Antuna from Manchester City and made Manchester City a nice little chunk of money. That's a nice group to have being our friends. The really, really rich team in Europe, I don't mind them being our buddies. That's okay with me.
Who have an excess of players all the time.
Hey, can anyone think of a domestic American goalkeeper who is not getting any minutes at Manchester City? And can you think of any clubs in Major League Soccer who really needs a starting goalkeeper? Like, it's not a bad thing to be good friends with the rich boys, especially when, at least in your own region and in your own country, you are the rich boys. There's nothing wrong with that. And so we get it. Yeah. We have an opportunity. And look, and at least from what I read, and I'm just taking from other reporters, say it doesn't work out in the way Manchester City wants. And they say, hey, he can hang out with you guys for a little bit. Give us he's 18. You can sign him to a professional contract and give us the right of first refusal. So when someone comes in for him, or when it's time to sell him on, you check with us first and we get to put down that price.
Yeah.
Like, is that a bad thing to have? You still get your price because they're just getting the opportunity to match, and it works out for everyone. It's going to win he never, and that's what I'm hearing. It's less of an if he goes to Europe and a when he goes to Europe. When he goes to Europe, that is another shining piece to say, look how we develop talent and let them leave when it's time with no issues. When we brought him in on an agreement, when it was time for him to go, we let him go. He was able to hang out till he was 18, 19, 20 years old, until City was ready to bring him in. We said, hey, Alex Akala's for sale. Who wants to bid? Dortmund bids 10 million. Yo, City, Dortmund bid 10 million. We'll give you 10. Hey, he's going to City. Done. The kid's happy. We got a talent for three years minimum, but we got a talent 3, 4, 5 years potentially. And we strengthen our ties with a very, very strong powerhouse in Europe. Potentially, Alex Akala could work out for everybody. I have hopes that he is as outstanding as he seems to be spoken of. I don't know that that's going to be the case yet. He's 15. So everyone should pump the brakes. He is, again, if he joined Galaxy 2, and it's a massive if he joined Galaxy 2 right off the bat, he would be the youngest player on Galaxy 2.
And Tuck, did you say you
by almost a year?
How tall? What's his height, weight?
4'10". I couldn't find a weight anywhere.
So you could imagine like
Still
someone
grow.
4'10" playing G2.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's seems like a big step, man.
G2?
Yeah.
Jonathan Perez, pretty small boy. I don't know how tall Jonathan Perez is.
Perez is. I mean, he's 5'2" maybe. I mean, he's definitely not 4'10".
Effer was pretty short when he first started.
Effer was short in G2.
Yeah, but
Jonathan Perez,
is
bro, I'm
short,
telling
man.
you, Jonathan Perez is small. Jonathan Perez is a small person. I assume this kid.
I agree with Ben though. He's not 4'10".
Who?
Neither one.
Alex?
Yeah. Well, no.
Jonathan,
yeah.
Yeah, but again, there's no reason. I'm not telling you Alex Akala is playing for G2. Alex Akala is joining the development system.
Yeah, no. But
he might join G2 in 6 months into the season. He might join G2 8 months into the season.
But there's no point in necessarily assigning him to G2, or saying, hey, you're getting the G2 contract, right?
Just an academy kid.
Because, I mean, you can play the academy kids with the G2.
Mm-hmm.
So there's no real point in saying and necessarily signing him to
Wikipedia
a quote-unquote pro contract.
Wikipedia says he's 5'6".
Perez,
yeah. Okay. Could be wrong. It's Wikipedia.
Yeah,
but
sure.
He's at least 5 inches taller than.
Oh yeah. Well, but again, but he's also what, 17? Jonathan Perez 17.
Yeah.
Alex Akala just turned 15, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Turned 15 last month.
That's crazy.
I'm so old. I'm so close to the grave. I'm so close to the grave. And Jonathan Perez getting ready to turn 18 at the top of the year. Like it's apples and oranges. But if Jonathan Perez is a young kid in our academy, by American standards, because there are teams in Major League Soccer playing 17-year-olds on their first team right now. And Jonathan Perez, I don't know if he's good enough to be playing for our first team for what the Galaxy should be striving for. But we've said it on this show several times. If Jonathan Perez does not play for the first team, somebody fucked up.
Yeah.
Period. Somebody fucked up. Whether he went to Europe early, or he goes to Mexico, or he goes to South America, or he leaves, he goes to different, whatever happens. If Jonathan Perez does not play for the first team, somebody fucked up. I wouldn't say that. You guys know how much I love Augustine Williams. I wouldn't say that about Augie Williams. I wouldn't. As much as I like him, I wouldn't say it. You guys know how much I love Ivan Gutierrez. I wouldn't say it about him. He seems good. He seems like a good talent, but he's raw. I've seen him make a bunch of mistakes. What about your boy Jalen Neal? Neal's got to play for the first team. Jalen Neal could be. I don't want to put the pressure on him.
No, just go ahead, because that dude he's a baller, man.
Jalen Neal could play Jalen Neal could play in the reserves next year.
Yeah.
Jalen Neal probably should play in the reserves next year. And I would have no problem with it.
Yeah.
I would have no problem with it. Because right now it would be Jalen Neal and Nick DePuy, right? If we're going off the basic structure of you have Development Academy, G2, you have MLS Next, which sounds like it's going to be U12s up. MLS Next, G2, reserves first team. If Jalen Neal got a first team deal next year, he's playing in the reserves because he's not realistically going to get first team games. He's playing in the reserves with Nick DePuy. Nick DePuy is a better defender than Jesus Vasquez, who is the captain and the starting center back for G2. So Jalen Neal is playing with a better partner than he otherwise had. Competition's going to be harder, but I just finished watching that kid fucking boss G2 and USL level at 16, 17 years old.
Yeah.
So I got no problem with that. But you're telling me that for Alex Akala, if it works out, if he ends up on G2, and I again don't know that he will, you're telling me I got a 4-2-3-1 of Ivan Gutierrez on the left, Alex Alcala in the middle, Jonathan Perez on the right, Adam Saldana playing center mid, and Alejandro Alvarado playing center mid, and Augustine Williams up top. I'm good. I'm good on that. I'm cool right there. I watch every game. You do that, I watch every single game with a smile on my face.
You watch every game regardless.
But that team, if Alex Alcala is as good as they say he is, like that's more fun to watch. And that's a regular set starting 11. You know, I mean, backline might shift a little bit depending on what happens with Neal, depending on what happens with Cuevas. But at your attacking core, for an organization that says they're trying to build a set. See, this is why I need a partner. The moment I get a partner on, I'm like, I'm in high gear. You're telling me for an organization that says they want to have a set style of play from the development academy up to the first team. That's how you do it with a second team set formation. You got
to be fair, they've said that forever since we started the G2, and they haven't done it. They thus far haven't done it.
I would say this is the closest they've been. This last season was the closest they've been. G2 played, and last year, the Galaxy streamed. And this is where my wife gets really disappointed in me. Last year, last season rather, the Galaxy streamed one singular U14 game, at least that I got to catch. The U14 team played the exact same way G2 does. The exact same way. You look at the way G2 and the first team are set up, it's a similar style. G2, sadly, is better at executing it than the first team is. But the first team the first team has a different problem. The first team has a problem G2 and the U14s don't have. The first team has to squeeze in marketing decisions. If Augustine Williams doesn't ball, and who's a player? Caleb Sue, who's a forward for G2. Caleb Sue is playing better in training than Augustine Williams. Caleb Sue plays. If Nathan Varela is better, or if Carson Klein is playing better than Augustine Williams in training, Carson Klein plays. If Nathan Varela is playing better than all of them, Nathan Varela is your starting forward for G2. On the first team, that's not the case. On the first team, look, if Chicharito doesn't start, a lot of people are going to have a really bad Christmas. A lot of people are losing their jobs. If Chicharito doesn't work next year, people are losing their fucking jobs. If Jonathan is healthy, he's going to play. If Hernandez is healthy, he's going to play. If Pavón is healthy, he's going to play. After we brought him in, if Yanni Gonzalez is healthy, he's going to fucking play. Like there's a different structural issue with, I may have just received the fucking saddest news I've ever seen. If the first team could change and shift their mentality, sadly, to the way G2 operates, they may be more successful. But they have to squeeze in definitely not roster decisions or definitely not marketing decisions. And that's always going to hinder their style of play because there's no two ways about it. You know, we make marketing calls. We make
marketing
calls.
Is the last thing.
Way last.
It's the last.
Way last.
And speaking of marketing, the Galaxy now have 3 players they can market as U.S. men's national team players.
The segue of the century.
So, obviously, Leggett is getting called in. I mean, he's been a fringe player for the national team for a while. But this is the first time that we're going to get to see Araujo in a USA jersey at the full national team level. And surprisingly, I mean, we won't get to see him in a jersey, but outside of a training jersey, you're going to see Efrain Alvarez in a USA jersey.
Yeah, I'm about it. I love it. Good on the kid.
Efra's not.
He hasn't made the switch.
For sure Efra's not playing?
He hasn't made he hasn't registered the switch, so he can train with them, but he can't play with them because he played U16, I think U17, but he played U16 level for sure with Mexico.
He played all the way. I think he played all the way up.
All the way through, yeah. So that unless he makes his FIFA switch, he can't play for the U.S. men's national team.
Yeah, once he's played,
he has to make his one-time call.
Yeah, because he's played in an actual tournament.
It's weird for me to think like there was a time I would have been like, if he plays for Mexico, fuck Efrain Alvarez, because I was like, go U.S. men's national team. But now I'm like old and I got kids and I'm tired. I'm like, do whatever makes you happy. Like I'm working on the healing, Ben. So I'm just like,
Hey, spiritual journey, brother.
But look, man, it's always been club over country.
It's always club over.
It's always been club over country.
Yes, as long as the kid balls out, I don't really give a fuck what he does, and as long as he's happy.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Like, what does he give a shit? What I think about which national team he plays for? It's a bunch of look. At the end of the day, sports is poor people arguing over the laundry that millionaires are wearing. It doesn't really matter. If playing for Mexico makes him happy, great. Playing for the U.S. men's national team makes him happy. Hey, you got a fuck ton of competition either way. He's got an insane amount of competition either way. So it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
I hope he chooses U.S. men's national team. It's another bullet in the chamber, but it doesn't really matter. The idea of Efrain coming off the bench for the U.S. men's national team was like when they called Freddie Adu back in for the what was it, Confederations Cup or Gold Cup. You play your regular formation, you play your regular style, and if you're losing and you need a goal, and you need to toss on a wild card that is just going to drag defenders out of position and never really do anything, go toss them on. But outside of that,
literally just.
Go ahead.
We're literally just talking about that in Barcelona practice yesterday.
Yeah.
Freddie Adu coming in that Gold Cup roster.
Yeah, it's just an extra piece. And if he, I'll tell you this, Efrain has something for the first team that nobody else has. He has the ability for a little spark of magic in a way that all the players, save for Pavone, don't have. Leggett doesn't do it. Zubac doesn't do it. Chicha doesn't do it. Jonathan doesn't even do it. Where every now and again, there's that moment where you go, holy fuck, man, why can't you do this every week? But I'll take it when it happens. I will goddamn take it. So I wish it get the best. I hope it all works out. Efrain did play U15s for the U.S. men's national team.
Yeah.
And then the next year switched to the U15s for Mexico, and then he's played 13 times for the U17s for Mexico. So he would need to make his switch.
He never made the U18s?
Say again?
That's interesting. He never made the U18?
No, that's
like he never did. He never went further up? Okay.
That's where he stopped.
From what I understand, he was rebuffed a little bit by Mexico. One of the Mexico coaches, when asked about Efrain Alvarez, said, well, Mexico has plenty of midfielders.
They do. But that's always part of the gamble.
Yeah.
The kid, what is it, Musa or something like that? The one who plays at Valencia. That's the issue now, is watching Sky Sports. They were talking about him because I can't remember the guy, some English dude was like talking to him about the English national team. And he's like, yeah, I had a big decision ahead of me to figure out, will I get to play with England? Because it's cool to say, hey, I'm gonna play for the English national team, but then if I never get to play, what's the point?
Yeah, exactly.
Isn't that cool? That's really nice.
What's that, Andrew? Go ahead, say it again.
It's really not that cool to play for England. It's never coming home, so it doesn't really matter.
Such shit here.
Oh, nice.
Now they got Jadon Sancho.
But hey, it's gonna be nice
Harry Kane
to see Alvarez in a game, because I feel pretty good about him actually getting in this game. I know he was in the camp last January, didn't get to play in the game, and
we can't play in this one, right?
No, he can.
Well, he's not. He has
Araujo, no, not Alvarez.
Yeah,
Araujo.
Araujo. You said.
Yeah.
You said.
Oh, I said Alvarez. I'm sorry, misspoke. Araujo. It'll be good to see Araujo actually get, put on the jersey in a game.
I gotta tell you about that guy. Oh my god, fucking Galaxy, man. Yeah, I'll tell you about it later. God, we're so.
But yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited to see Araujo.
He's not going anywhere. I just realized how that sounded. Julian's not going anywhere. Everybody, calm down. They didn't fuck up that bad, but they fucked up. But we'll talk about that later.
Well, I mean, you expect that.
Yeah.
Andrew and I were talking on Twitter. I mean, if one organization is going to fuck up, you expect it to be the Galaxy.
Yeah. You want to do a Patreon? Andrew, can you call back for a Patreon show after this? And I'll just say everything that I'm not allowed to say here. That way I can just tell you it's easier. All right. So what's
so moving on. Did you guys see?
That's how you sell that shit, Ed.
So did you guys see Pavone? Speaking of Galaxy rosters, stuff you can say. Pavone.
Kishan.
His Twitter post, seemingly saying goodbye to Boca.
Gracias.
Nah, Boca. It was Facebook.
I thought it was Instagram. Facebook. Yeah, I did see that.
It was Facebook, and I saw on Twitter that someone said that it's actually a page run by his family member, and they were doing it for the Copa Libertadores quarterfinal. Tucker would know.
I don't.
Whatever's going on right now.
Yeah, I think it's Copa Libertadores.
And so it's both. It's not a goodbye.
So it's not meant to say it's not meant as a precursor to like the Galaxy announcing they're actually going to buy him.
Well, this is
because again, I think they said everyone's reading too much into it.
Those are two. This. I didn't know anything about the Copa Libertadores. I assume that they're in the Copa Lib. I didn't know anything that it was in reference to the Copa Libertadores. I just assumed, like this is a part I think people are failing to understand. There is a separation between Christian Pavone is not going back to Boca Juniors and Christian Pavone is coming to the Galaxy. Those are two different things. He could post tomorrow, goodbye Boca, best years of my career. You guys gave me everything, blah, blah, blah. I miss playing. I hope to play at La Bomba again and greatest fans in the world and still not come to the Galaxy. That could happen. I'm not saying it's happening, but that very well could happen. Wait. It's really, 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 really early. Like it's the Wednesday after Thanksgiving. Like the Galaxy, a lot of the guys of the Galaxy are still on vacation. Give it some time. It's going, whether it happens or not, it's going to take some time. And I'm not telling you that it's not important. I'm just trying to help you reduce stress and anxiety in your life. I'm getting to this mental healing thing, Andrew. It's really weird.
He's gone.
Is he gone? Bye,
Yeah.
Andrew. Miss you. There's two separate issues, whether Christian comes to the Galaxy, whether he leaves Boca Juniors. He almost certainly is going to leave Boca Juniors. So at some point, you're very, very likely to see a post of him saying goodbye to Boca Juniors. I just don't want people to get too crazy about him coming to the Galaxy or returning because, he said bye to Boca. And you know what? I'll be honest with you. If it didn't happen, it wouldn't exactly be the worst thing in the world. Like I want to leave a little bit of room for whomever the next coach is. And we'll talk about that. But for whomever the next coach is, you got to leave a little bit of room for this guy to work.
So don't read too much into the post, is what you're saying.
Not at all. Not at all.
Yep. So speaking of the new coach and next season, we should talk about some roster moves. The Galaxy made some roster announcements this week.
Let's do it.
So, Tucker.
Pull it up because I definitely do not have it off the top of my head. Yes, sir.
All right.
Or if you're going to read it to me.
No. I'll give you a second to pull it up.
No, I'm good. I'm per usual. I'm stealing Josh Guessman's homework. So
yeah, but that's exactly what I was going to do too.
Why do the work yourself when there are white people willing to do it for you, Ben?
Josh?
Exactly.
He's going to be like, did you? I guess I'll talk to him later. But yes, go ahead, sir.
So, you had a chance to basically look at it a little bit, right?
Mm-hmm. No, yeah, of course.
So let's talk about the people they kept first.
Okay. When you say kept, what does kept mean to you? Like the option has been picked up?
Yes, the option has been picked up.
So the options were exercised on Ethan Zubak, Justin Vomsteeg, Didi Traore, and Kai Koreniuk.
Okay.
G2 Academy graduates. Easy. Low money, low cost. I mean, with all due respect to all of them, because I genuinely like some of them, and I've watched a couple of them play a lot of times. There are 4 names that couldn't mean less to the 2021 season than those 4 guys.
Yes.
Right? A guy who should be a forward number 3. A guy who I think is a left back number 3. A guy who's goalkeeper number 3. And a guy who seems to be winger number 3. So 4 guys that don't really matter.
And 4 guys that were relatively cheap, I'm sure.
They're all cheap. They're all dirt cheap. Most of them are free. Are they all free? I think they're all free. No, Didi Traore is not homegrown. Didi Traore is an international. No, Ethan's free. Ethan's a homegrown.
Koreniuk is a homegrown too, isn't he?
He's not homegrown. No, he's just on a straight out first team deal. Traore is an international, expensive, and not homegrown. Justin Vomsteeg is domestic and not a homegrown, so he's still costing us, but it's not a domestic spot. Ethan's domestic, obviously, and a homegrown, so he's not costing any money. I mean, it's 4 guys that couldn't, at least contracts wise, couldn't matter less.
Yeah,
genuinely couldn't matter less.
They're depth pieces. That's all they are.
If they're lucky, yeah.
Yeah, and
if they're lucky, it's, you know what it is? We exercise the option on 4 guys that will all be playing in the reserves next year.
Yes, and 4 guys that are not going to cost us anything really.
The international spot hurts. The Traore international spot.
I'm hoping
hurts.
Traore. I mean, he's been here long enough. He should be getting a green card.
So we don't seem to be as good at that as some other clubs, but hopefully they can make that happen.
So, all right, and then Kleshin, your boy Sasha.
My man.
Terms were not disclosed, but the rumor, it was announced that he's a
new contract.
Yeah.
I hope he got a bump because I know he took a cut to come here. So I'm hoping he got a little grease.
Yeah, some people were online when they weren't necessarily happy about that. Some people were like, "Oh, he needs to take a pay cut."
But can I clue you into something that really helped me with my journey for peace? Please. A lot of people are fucking stupid. A lot of people are dumb. And look, if you share that opinion, I want you to know you are who I'm talking about. A lot of people are stupid. Sasha was good for what he was supposed to do. The fact is,
you could easily say that Sasha did more than he was supposed to do.
He did
more
for
than
me.
what he was brought in.
Fucking punched that LAFC guy in the back of the head and completely got away with it on a goal. That's all I'm asking.
Deserves a raise for that alone.
I got no problem.
At least a bonus.
But Sasha is in the same vein, and I'm sure you're going to talk about him in a second. But Sasha's in the same vein Ethan is.
Yeah.
I don't begrudge the player for being in a position that they shouldn't be in. The fact that you are relying on Sasha Kleshin at this stage in his career is not on Sasha Kleshin. It's on the same people that you were upset about ACFC for, Same people you're upset about season ticket costs for. The same people that you're upset about the fact that the last 15 posts the Galaxy have posted are about separating you from your money, despite having one of the worst seasons and not having a head coach or fucking any plans. That's who you should be mad at. Ethan being your starting forward, not his fault. He shouldn't be a starting forward. He would probably tell you he shouldn't be a starting forward. Sasha will tell you that at this stage of his career, he's ready to start if they ask him. But Sasha is, I mean, for me, signing a new contract, he's the current face of your organization. He's the only person that stands in front of a camera and fucking says anything. Every other person smiles and goes, we're going to try harder next year. Sasha, I can tell you, I know for a fact, Sasha Kleshin has spent the last 5 years trying to come to the Galaxy. And then took a pay cut at his stage in his career when all he should be trying to do is collect duffel bags to take care of his kids, to set his kids up and his wife for as long as humanly possible. Took a pay cut to come to the Galaxy in a team, perhaps even an organization of completely heartless people who don't seem to have the balls or the heart or the soul or the spirit to play on the Galaxy. If you found a 2008 Chris Tucker and said this sentence, he absolutely wouldn't believe you. Sasha Kleshin is it. Be goddamn happy you have him, ladies and gentlemen. Hope, he's a bulletproof vest. Sasha's a bulletproof vest. Hope you don't need him. But you'd be fucking happy when you do.
That's the truth.
And Corona's play made Sasha a whole lot easier. And Sasha's play made Corona a little bit more, a little easier to get rid of. He made his contract a little bit heavier because you don't really need a Joe Corona, do you?
Well, speaking of that, the Galaxy have declined the option of Joe Corona, Emiliano Insua, Cuello, Yanni, Klinsmann, and Wild. Of those, let's see, the Galaxy have also declined they remain in negotiations with Klinsmann, Corona, Insua, Bingham, Felter, and Kitchen. I guess Felter and Kitchen are out of contract, as is Bingham.
Bingham's gone. I saw something today that they were like, Bingham depends on the coach. I don't believe that shit. He costs too much money. He's not good enough. Fans seem to hate him.
I mean, yeah, why would you? Yeah, it doesn't.
I don't understand that.
It seems like a situation that you're not coming back from.
The
fans hate him. He's not good.
I think they're in negotiations with him in as much as, hey, and this is in air quotes for everyone who's going to get angry. Air quotes, starting caliber, starting quality goalkeeper in Major League Soccer.
Yeah.
If you're willing to be a backup, you can stay. Which I assume he's not. And I assume you don't even want him as a backup because you got Vomsteeg and Lopez and Abraham Romero. What's the other kid's name in G2? You have enough where you don't really need David Bingham unhappy sitting on the bench. I'm sure they're in negotiations with him in as much as they were in negotiations with Alessandrini last year, or in as much as they were in negotiations with Diego Polenta last year. It seems like it's more out of respect than anything else.
So of these players, of the rest of them, Klinsmann, Corona, Insua, Felcher, Kitchen, who's important to bring back, and who do you kind of say?
Based on what we have right now, Insua. Based on what we have right now, it's got to be Insua. Like it's Danilo Acosta coming off a season-ending injury, and Didi Traore, a kid who, no matter what, can't seem to get regular game time.
Yeah.
It would be the left back spot. I assume that deal is more, hey, we're going to restructure this left or right. I assume it's a little less money. We're going to restructure this left or right because this isn't working out where it is. And if you're willing to, the idea that they got Emiliano Insua on 1 year guaranteed and a club option, great contract.
What they need to do, whatever money they're negotiating with Felcher, they just need to give to Insua.
Felcher ain't coming back. You want to be mad at the because I saw a lot of people were like, they're renegotiating with Felcher. You know who you got to be pissed at about Felcher? Julian Araujo. If Julian Araujo could stay on the fucking field and stop collecting yellow cards, Rolf Felcher would be gone already. I don't think he's coming back. Nothing I guess that might be one where you leave open to the coach. But if you looked at Felcher on Instagram, he was posting like freedom, like it looks like he's gone. It looks like he's done. And logic would tell you he's probably done.
No, sorry to interrupt, but you also have to understand that Araujo may be gone for the Olympics for a month next year.
Yeah.
Maybe more, you know?
We're gonna need a backup right back regardless. Giancarlo Gonzalez can cover at right back. So you sign another right back who's gonna either back up or even be over Julian. And when he goes to the Olympics, if and when he goes to the Olympics, Giancarlo Gonzalez is that guy's backup.
Yep.
There's a move from G2 that I would really, 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 really like to see. That would make a whole lot of fucking sense. But, you know, who knows?
What about with thoughts on Perry Kitchen real quick?
Is he getting renegotiated?
Yeah, they're negotiating with him.
I love Perry Kitchen. If they can get Kitchen on a Felcher-esque deal where he's willing to take less money to hang out, he's great. This was his best season under the Galaxy by far. He did exactly what he was asked to do. This is my only problem with keeping Kitchen. Only problem with keeping Kitchen. Guy earned a starting spot this year, right? You're probably keeping Jonathan. You're actively trying to keep Pavon. You're definitely keeping Hernandez. You're definitely keeping Leggett. Starting to look really, really similar.
Yeah.
To an awful team I saw last year. So it's not that Perry, I think Perry should go. Look, honestly, if you told me I had to keep Perry or Jonathan right now, I would keep Perry Kitchen. Based off the 2019 season, by a country mile, I would keep Perry Kitchen, which is sad. It says way more about Jonathan than Perry.
Yep. I was saying the same thing. I was talking with my brother earlier today. That if I had to pick between the two, I'd pick Kitchen.
But I'm just not. Yeah, Andrew's in the live chat. Kitchen on sub 200. Kitchen 250. I'd be okay with.
Yeah.
250 I think is a little more fair.
They did put out word that the salary cap is not going to go up this upcoming year as it's supposed to.
I think Guessman was saying they're operating on the 2019 CBA.
Yeah.
But we also never really saw the 2020 CBA that they had agreed on during COVID. We still haven't seen. One of the weird things about Sasha, we're never going to know whether Sasha got a raise this year because they never released the 2020 salaries. So we're just not going to know what he got. At least as of right now, we're not going to know what he got for last year, so we won't know whether the Galaxy went up or down on him.
Yep. So under contract, the Galaxy have Lopez, Depew, Steris, Araujo, Acosta, Pipo Gonzalez, Jonah, Leggett, Alvarez, Perez, Dunbar, and Chicharito. And obviously we talked about Perez and Dunbar.
Mm-hmm.
They're homegrown, so they don't necessarily count against anything. I don't know.
Jonathan Perez, homegrown. Oh, it's so much more important than people give it credit because you can sell a Jonathan Perez. And the new rules for homegrown signings means the organization that has him as a homegrown player gets 100% of the money. Like, I would love a situation where we get to sign Alex Akala out of the academy to a homegrown deal to the first team so that whenever we sell him, we get all the money. He's not on any contract to the best of my knowledge right now, so who knows? Sorry, I didn't mean to disrupt your question.
No, I'm just wondering, that means that Pipo had a guaranteed contract for what? We're talking 3 years? A 3-year deal?
It would have had to been, yeah.
Yeah, at least. Hopefully it's just a 3-year deal.
Yeah. You think that's bad? Ask Josh Guessman about Jorgen Skjelvik and
Oh,
how
he
somehow
mentioned that.
he's still on our books. Which means at some point, someone offered a defender who never played in Major League Soccer a 4-year minimum guaranteed contract. I think he's on 4. Came in 2017. He came in 2017. But if he's, it'd be 2017, 18, 19, 20.
Yeah, so
If it was next year, it'd be 5 years.
Yeah,
That's
crazy.
almost seems like it should probably be looked into by someone because it seems for Major League Soccer, that's not usually how business is done. So it seems strange that, I don't know. Maybe that's something that should be looked into. And then it's weird because like when he leaves, he doesn't really leave. He goes to another club you own. So I don't know. I don't know who investigates those things, but I feel like someone should look into it.
Maybe we should just keep that under wraps. I mean,
Nah, I'd like to see some people go to jail. I'd really like to see some people go to jail. So I don't know. I don't know who made that decision, but that seems really fucking strange for a guy who never played in the league getting, a longer guaranteed contract than Robbie Keane got. That seems really, really fucking strange to me. So I don't know.
I know.
And then when he leaves, he goes to another organization where you can just
it's a pass
move some
back.
numbers around.
Tuck, it's a pass back. That's all it seems like. It's a pass back.
Yeah. How do you pass the ball?
Just back.
You kick it, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So like kick it backwards?
Yeah.
Kick it backwards.
Yeah, exactly.
All right.
Always. Okay, so now that we know some of the guys that are going to be on the team next year, who is going to manage this team? Who's coaching this team, Tuck? We heard rumors earlier in the week that Dom was already offered the job, but those were quick to be rebuffed by just about everybody in the media.
Hold on, pause. I got to give my man credit. The level to which Josh Guessman was going after that guy, Will. So I don't know if you guys know. I think it's at MLS Transfers.
Something like
that. I think it's at MLS Transfers on Twitter. Was posting that the Galaxy offered Dom Kinnear the job and it was his to turn down. 3 days later, he goes, Greg Vanning to the Galaxy practically done. Guessman is in every single one of those dudes' tweets. He's in, like, it's a level, if he's listening to this, and if he's not, everyone, whatever minute this is, someone go tweet Josh and go, hey, go listen to this moment. That
123.
My God, Josh. 123, 123. Josh, that's the level of petty I'm looking for, my man. This is the moment. That was the moment I knew you could replace Ed on this show. That's the exact level of petty I'm looking for. Every fucking time that dude tweets, Josh is like, nah, that don't seem right. Let me ask somebody real quick. Nope. Like, just nope. Not even explanations as to how the guy is wrong. It's just like, nah, that ain't true. Nah, you don't need to believe that shit. It's garbage. It's trash. It's nothing. I love it. Sorry, you were saying. I apologize.
So
I just had to big up him for that. I loved it.
Yes.
Will Forbes is the guy's name on Twitter. I don't know what his real name is.
I think it's Will Forbes.
It's probably not his real name. He's lying about rumors. You can't trust the name you put up there.
That's true. All right. So if
I'll tell
Dom's not
Josh
getting
right
a job, Greg Vanny left TFC yesterday morning. Obviously, but his contract was up. He kept talking. I think he and Ali Curtis both said earlier in the year that it was imminent that they were going to sign, and then he walked away.
They offered it in October, I think. End of October, they had offered him a deal. And we talked about it on here.
And it was supposed to be, just, the I's dotted, T's crossed, and it was a done deal. But the fact that he now walking away.
He's smart. And not for walking away, but he's smart for saying, hey, I'm going to go see what the market has to offer me. Whether, because I think by the terms of Major League Soccer, you're not allowed to talk to someone who is a head coach somewhere else. So we're going to say he decided to walk away and see what the market was like. Thought I'd let that hang for a while. But yeah, good on him, man. He's been successful. TFC was, if you remember, TFC was an absolute dumpster fire when he took over. Danny Kuvermans, who at the time, if you're a slightly older MLS head, yeah, once referred to Toronto FC as the worst club in the world. They had fired their head coach for, according to their Wikipedia anyway, they had fired their head coach for not only fucking up in the playoffs, but putting undue pressure on the players going into the playoffs, because they were like, these guys are going to win this game. Easy. Not a problem. Like, they have to win this game. And then they went in and they folded. They brought in Greg, first thing Greg Vanny does? Man after my own heart. First thing Greg Vanny does
is
Jermaine Defoe, get the fuck out. Go to, and it's going to warm my heart to talk about this.
Are we talking like just straight up like prison rules? He just finds the biggest name.
Do you know what he did?
Square in the balls?
No, he traded him to Sunderland for an American forward who was not doing very well, who has kind of had brought his career back at Toronto. They traded Jermaine Defoe for Josie Altidore. Literally everyone was happy. Jermaine Defoe was miserable in Toronto. Josie Altidore was miserable in Sunderland, as absolutely everyone would be. Although he lived in Newcastle when he was there, because of course you would. Sunderland now in League One, by the way, lost to Burton 5 times, if you're keeping track, with 1 draw after they talk shit about Newcastle United having to play Burton away. So, go fuck yourselves. And it was a good move, though. He's got a history of bringing in or being a part of a system that brings in high caliber, big money, big name players and managing them to success. You may not like Michael Bradley, but Michael Bradley took a leap at club level in Major League Soccer after he left Borussia Mönchengladbach, and then I think he was at Roma for a while. Ben just left, so I'm going to try to do this by myself for a while. He brought in Sebastian Giovinco, who set the record for, I got a note here. Let me read this. Brought in Sebastian Giovinco, who set a record for most goals and assists in a single season. He scored 22 goals with 16 assists. That record stood until Carlos Vela broke it last year. So for anyone who thinks, hey, we really got to get an attacking midfielder who can help Chicha with some assists, like Vanny's done it. Vanny's played a style that benefited a big money attacking midfielder and a big money forward. Josie's not the fastest guy in the world. Chicha is not exactly the fastest guy in the world. The constraints seem relatively similar. If you look at the level, to which this makes sense, it's almost hard to see it not happening. Greg played with Karofsky in his first stint on the Galaxy. He played with Klein on his second stint to the Galaxy, came back to retire as a Galaxy player. Like we look at the way we choose to operate as a club, and we know one of the easy, simple rules, right? Klein and Krofsky hire guys that they've either played with, know personally, or played under. Right? Vanny checks that box. Vanny is Vanny's the best former player who is a head coach that checks that box that I can think of. Off the top of my head anyway. I got to go through Klein's years. For the Galaxy. Like that's done. It almost, someone just said in the group chat, it almost makes too much sense. If you're, if you're like me and you like, Galaxy stats and you like the history, Greg Vanny, 193 appearances.
Hey, did he wear number 3?
He wore number 3 and 18. Okay. He wore 18 first and then he switched over to 3. And he wore 3 in his second stint here too. 193 appearances. Wow. Sixth all time. Not sixth. Tied for 5th all time with Todd Donovan, who would also make a great club president. Maybe we'd make both those things happen. Third or tied for second most appearances for a defender, just behind AJ, with about 10 or 11 to go. Like right in upper echelon, 16,273 league minutes played, 21 goals scored from left back. In fairness, he took a lot of penalties. 20 assists. I saw someone say you used to need to write your last will and testament before getting into a wall to block a Greg Vanny free kick because he just blasted it at you. Like Greg, as a Galaxy guy, as a world builder, took Toronto FC, if you remember, couldn't win a playoff game. Didn't win a playoff game for 8 seasons, which is why they brought Greg in to begin with. Why they cleaned house and brought Greg in. Won him a championship. Went to MLS Cup 3 or 4 years in a row. Like Toronto, if you're a relatively old MLS head, Toronto, Greg Vanny was the guy at the helm when they got turned into something. I can't guarantee any player is going to be a success. It's impossible, or any coach is going to be a success. That's impossible. You can't really do that. But of the options that have been listed so far, Greg seems to be the one with Major League Soccer experience, which they said at the end of the season was going to be a priority. A history of being successful in Major League Soccer, which Greg had in his years in Toronto, 87, 68, and 48 record, 0.547 average. Put it in a comparison, GBS, 21 wins, 26 losses, 6 draws, 0.453 average. Like Greg.
He ticks all the boxes.
He didn't have a playoff win twice in Toronto. Last year and his first year. That's it. Every other year, he was able to win at least one game, usually 1-3.
Yep.
Every single season. Like Greg, I'm open to, I understand the emotional desires for some coaches that no one could ever explain to me why. I get it. Like I get the guy at Club America. Piojo. Like I get it. And I watched the Chivas America playoff game. I watched some Liga MX. Chivas fucking bodied that dude. I don't know how anyone watched that game and was like, that's the guy I want. I don't understand that. But I asked why, and they're like, I want to see passion on the sideline. And it's like, okay, Bruce, not the most passionate man on the sideline. But sure, Yallop used to yell on the sideline. Like, passion doesn't always translate in the way you want. I like don't get me wrong, I like the idea big name manager in the region has won things. Hasn't won them in Major League Soccer.
So the wild card in all this is the fact that Atlanta needs a head coach too.
Yeah.
And
it sounds like they're going to get Gabriel Heinze. Argentinian. They love the Argies over there. Yeah. Well, Argy Bargy.
All right. Well, did the Galaxy screw this up, or do they land him, Tuck?
Did you
mention? Wait, before I'm sorry to interrupt. Did you mention that he also went to UCLA?
I didn't know that. He's from Boston. I didn't know he went to UCLA.
Well, no, he's from Boston, but not
went
Boston.
To UCLA?
But not Boston, Massachusetts. He's from South Boston and Virginia. It's a different Boston.
Boston is awful. Why are there 2 Bostons?
I don't know.
There's a Boston in England too, isn't there? There's too many Bostons.
Sure there is.
It's way too many Bostons. I didn't know he went to UCLA. Like, Kobe went to UCLA.
Yeah.
Ziggy coached at UCLA. Like, Gato went to UCLA. Like, I'm down. I like the connection. UCLA, look, whether you're a Trojan fan or not, UCLA and the Galaxy, long-standing connection.
Well, UCLA is it's been a dominant soccer school forever.
And if you're a history guy, Greg Vanney, second drafted from the MLS college draft, the inaugural college draft to the Galaxy. Can you take a stab at who he drafted first? Because naturally, once I saw he was second, I was like, oh, well, I gotta know. Yeah. I gotta know who was first and third.
Do I get a hint? Kind of like I know your history.
It wouldn't matter. It really wouldn't matter. You're not gonna get it. Forward Guillermo Jara.
Of course.
Yeah, we drafted him.
I think it's Guillermo Jara.
Jara, thank you. He was drafted first number 12, I believe, in Galaxy history. And Ante Razov, we drafted Ante Razov. What an asshole! We drafted him in the third round, 27th overall. But Vanney's a G.
How do you screw this up?
Vanney's a G. He's a G who wins. He's a G who, in almost his entire time in Toronto, he wins. Toronto had Tim Lewicki, though.
That's true. We talked about,
Toronto had Tim Lewicki.
With Lewicki woulda.
So this is a question I had about it. And I don't know if this is in a lightning round, so I want to touch on it briefly. Quick question about it. Say Greg comes in and he goes, I don't want Jonathan. You think the Galaxy sells him?
I think there's
let me be more specific. Greg comes in and says, I don't see Jonathan in my plan. Not necessarily I don't want him, but I don't see Jonathan in my plans. I got somebody else I want to bring in.
I think you have to.
Does Chris Klein and DTK sell Jonathan? Because that's the actual question.
Okay, so this is it's funny because I was talking to my brother about this. You remember when Bruce first came in and they gave Bruce
like it was yesterday.
They gave him total control. And Bruce did everything his way, and then slowly over time.
But what was the difference?
That control, the Galaxy, well, what I'm saying is the Galaxy were in a crappy position. They sucked.
Bruce was general manager.
That's true. So, but you look at a guy like Greg Vanney. When Greg Vanney, when he was at Toronto, he was technical director and head coach, and he was the one who went and hired Ali Curtis.
I am all for firing Jovan Karofsky. I got no problem with firing the current technical director because the Galaxy call him head scout, which is not true. He's a technical director. I have no problem firing the technical director who goes on fucking Fox Sports and talks about the Bundesliga when his team is terrible every time. I had no problem firing Jovan Karofsky and replacing him with Greg Vanney.
So I think that we don't get Greg Vanney unless those type of things are going to happen.
I don't even want to hear that.
Unless I would assume that he and DTK would have to work close enough together, and DTK would, I don't want to say take his orders from the head coach, but in a certain way, that's exactly what would happen.
Well, what should happen is Greg has a plan. Like what should have happened?
Wait, can I answer your question first?
Go ahead. Sorry.
The answer is yes.
Okay.
If he says Jonah needs to go, Jonah goes.
You think they would sell him?
I do.
I don't trust that man.
If we didn't have Chicha, I think maybe it's a little different. But the fact we got Chicha locked up, but again, I think if he would have came and said, "Hey, Chicha's not in my plans," I think that's an issue. I honestly think.
I think they tell him to go fuck himself.
Yeah, and I don't think he takes a job.
I think they would tell him flat out to go fuck himself. This is the only place I think, because I feel you on. We offered Bruce the castle.
Yeah.
The key, not even the keys. We offered Bruce the castle. He was the fucking man.
So bad. That's what we had to do. We were so bad.
If you remember, he just got fired from New York for being awful. But we needed a complete build, and the only way he was going to take that job was the ability to do whatever he wanted. This is where I think I think you might be wrong, or I hope you're wrong, I should say. That's where I hope you're wrong about Greg wanting complete control. You look at his career. You look at the time he spent here, and you look at how he got the TFC job. I think the Galaxy job is the job he wants. I think that's the job where you go, I don't exactly get everything I want, but I may not get this chance again.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
It reminds me of, not to bring him up too much today, but it reminds me of Steve Bruce at Newcastle. He had a chance to manage Newcastle earlier. Reports where he was a little scared to take the job. thought it wasn't going to come back again. Came around after Rafa Benitez left. An awful time to take that job, but he recognized he was never going to get the chance to take it again. For Greg, it may be, hey, this makes sense. A club I care about is in trouble. It's in turmoil. I feel like I can be the solution for it. This is the terms for me taking that job. I got to take the job. And look, maybe DTK isn't interested in hanging out in this job for 10 years. Maybe Greg is interested in hanging out in this job for 10 years and holds it. DTK moves on someday, and Greg it happened to what's his name? Peter Vermees. And you just assume the GM roles, and now you're the manager of the Galaxy. Maybe that's what happens. But 193 appearances? Multiple stints? Titles? It is still, for me, and I might be wrong, it's still the biggest job in the country.
I agree.
It's still one of the biggest jobs in the region. It's still one of the biggest jobs in the conference or in the confederation.
Yeah,
like
for sure. I mean, it's definitely at the very minimum top 10 in the region.
In the region, yeah. Even that seems low. Like I would say, I don't know. Yeah, probably like top 10. I'm probably cutting out a couple Mexican clubs because I think a couple Mexican clubs shoot to the top of my mind, obviously. And there's a couple that fall off, and I don't want to talk to their fans, so I'm just not going to name them. So everyone can be like, how dare you say Monterrey is not a big enough job? And I'll go, no, you were one of the two. But you both know you're not one of the two, don't you? You know who the two are. You can think of the two right now. But it's a top, for me, it's a top 5 job in the region. It's a huge job, big salaries, big money. GBS had 2 years, lost his job.
Yeah.
During COVID, when everyone was like, when we walked into the season, like, I have zero expectations for this year. GBS still lost his job. Still wasn't good enough. So for me, it's got to be Greg. I'm going to read a real quick quote of him before we transition off of him. This is from, where is this? Soccer America? Enjoy. Oh, well, fuck you. Stupid links. No, I'm not signing a. I'm going to sign a username for this. Basically, he's like, I'm a builder. The project at Toronto is done. We're good. I don't want to just he doesn't want to maintain a good setup. He wants to build something.
Yeah, that was one of the quotes I was looking for too.
I'm a builder. I like to build things.
Something about a project too, right? He's looking for a project in his next job.
Yeah, he said this club is in a good place.
Yeah,
I'm a builder. I like to build things. As we segue off, and to heap as much potential pressure on a Greg Vanney administration as possible. Do you remember what Bruce Arena went into the Hall of Fame for?
As a builder.
As a builder. I ain't calling Greg Bruce. I wouldn't do that to him. That's evil. But I like the idea of signing a builder.
And I will tell you, if you're listening now, go to my Twitter at DTRadioBen. I retweeted a post from Christian Jack, who's a Toronto reporter. I think he's a Toronto reporter. He was giving an interview, and he talks about what Greg Vanney brought to Toronto when he first got there, and he talked about how the team pulled together and played together. He created an atmosphere that the team was a family and that they were playing for one another. That's something we haven't seen since Bruce left.
Yeah. He said, I'm a builder. This club is in a good place. There's not a lot of building to do.
Yeah.
And I think when you look at Toronto, that's perfect.
Tuck.
And when you look at the Galaxy.
What team could you say could use a builder right now?
I could use a builder.
Yeah.
I could definitely use a builder. So I'm all for Greg, man. I hope it's Greg. But you know what? I'm open. Because I'm in the same boat that I was whenever people would ask me, hey, do you want a Mexican coach for the Galaxy? I want to hear the plan. I'd like to hear the plan. I like Greg because Greg makes sense. I like Greg because Greg's a Galaxy guy. I like Greg because he's, sixth all time and tied for fifth all time in appearances, rather. I like Greg because he's tied for second all time for defenders in appearances. I got a lot of reasons to like Greg Vanney. I've met Greg once. He was very nice 11 years ago. But I want to hear the plan. GBS, I'm sure, is a nice guy. I watched GBS at Columbus, was always very impressed. I'm sure he's a great guy. I want to hear the fucking plan, man. And if the plan is Chris Klein is going to be deciding signings, then I don't care a fuck who he is. I don't want it.
Yeah.
Really, even if it's DTK. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. I want the coach to come in and be like, I have complete player fucking control. These two numpties don't get a say. That's what I want to hear.
Isn't that what Ziggy said?
But that was a lie. Exactly. Let me word it this way. When one of my sources tells me that they're still in charge of player decisions, I'm going to come on here and let you all know. And I want you to fucking roast them. I want you to roast them alive. Not literally, because I won't be liable for that. But I want Twitter roast them. Go on Facebook into your private groups that nobody gives a fuck about, and then just hit enter. I don't do that. Smoke weed and take a nap. It's way better. You don't have any idea how sweet that shit is?
All right, it's time for the lightning round talk.
Let's do it, sir.
So,
I should probably tweet out that we're doing this.
Probably. You know, we have a Big Tony email too, don't we?
I don't think so. There's no games. It shouldn't be.
Oh, did he wrap? He did wrap. He already
He
wrapped
wrapped up.
the
Yeah, with
okay.
that. I hope so, because I'm not looking for it.
Yeah. All right. So, Sexy Tony wants to know: did we buy Pavone?
Is Sexy Tony and Big Tony the same person?
Well, Big Tony is sexy.
That's true. He's a good-looking man. His wife's a lucky woman.
Yeah, but I think they're two different people.
Okay, that's fair. Big Tony's sexy though.
I think we kind of answered that. The question: did we buy Pavone? No, not yet.
Did we?
Yeah, that's what he's asking.
Is it did?
Yes.
Like going by his tense? No, we have not purchased Christian Pavone yet.
I'm assuming that he's just kind of going off the Facebook post and what everyone kind of assumed with that one.
They're negotiating, but be patient. We'll figure it out.
All right. Our friends at LA is our house.
LA. Every time I gotta let them know. Every time I see their name, I think it's Florida. Welcome to my house. But in my head, it's always like LA is our house every single time. I just gotta let you guys know that. I needed to get it out. Now I can stop caring about it.
They just said one more.
One more what?
Just says one more.
Another one.
Yep.
Yes. Or no, I'm trying to lose weight. Let me, I'm good. Whatever it is, I'm good. I'm
going to butcher this one. Non-censor Rivervet or non-censor Viam 8 wants to call in and request a song like they did a year ago. They want us to do another where we just played music.
It's
in
up
the
to you,
background
man. I'm down. I fucking love that shit. All I do is listen to radio.
So dude, this offseason we'll do a show like that.
Boom. We got to do more crunk music.
That's all you're into these days. Well, no, what are you into these days? You're listening to
me. I'm all
when
over
I came
the
in,
place,
you were listening
man.
to trap.
I got a little 21 Savage. What else do I like? I like 21 Savage. Megan Thee Stallion's got a new record out. Benny the Butcher's got a new record out. That's hard as fuck. What else? My Spotify Rap 20. Spotify does the Rap 2020 thing. For years, it was this one really seminal record for me. It was Continuum by John Mayer. I listened to it over and over again. I love that record. I found out last year, apparently John Mayer is a fucking asshole. So I haven't listened to that, the seminal record of my life all year. And it's weird because I've probably, COVID sucked. But, mentally, I had a much better year than I've had every year I've listened to that record. So it's not terrible. I don't know, man. I listened to a lot of shit. I started listening to rap music again, and that's been enjoyable. I listened to Ludovico Einaudi. He's this classical musician. When I'll tweet out one of his songs if you guys want to check him out when I'm studying and doing shit like that. But it's pretty it's pretty common shit. You
ever listen to Otmar Liebert?
Nah.
Classical guitarist.
Hey, fucking send him. You know what I'm into right now? Sergio Mendes and Brazil 66, 68. That's really all I'm listening to right now. And a lot of jazz renditions of video game music. I'm so lucky to have my wife. It's crazy. It's ridiculous. I'm so lucky.
Tune L.A. Oldguard wants
She's
to know.
Ooh, what is this? I'm like, it's from Final Fantasy 3. Don't worry about it.
Nice. I just wonder what she's thinking. Final Fantasy 3? What is he thinking? What's his Final Fantasy? His third one.
She's thinking,
He
got dick.
He got 2 other Final Fantasies.
Yeah. Oh, no. I got way more than that.
So Tune L.A. Oldguard, damn. Wants to know.
Tune?
Yeah.
Away, man.
He wants to know, would it make sense to have Robbie Keane manage G2 for a few years?
Oh, my God.
And get his managing chops?
Yeah. But you know what? It's hard, man. If it was right after Mike Munoz, I'd be all about it. I really like what G2 is doing right now, and I don't want to do anything to fuck it up. They're playing the right kids. They're playing, look, Andrew can crack his jokes. I do watch G2. You're going to get a lot of people who have opinions. I can think of a couple people who had some pretty nonsensical G2 opinions this year that I know don't watch the games. You know what I mean? I know unequivocally don't watch the games. People watch highlights and cultivate their entire opinion around a 30-second clip the Galaxy post. Nonsensical.
Isn't that what we do on Galaxy Twitter?
That's what you do. That's not what I do. I do the work. I watch the games,
Galaxy
man.
Twitter is all about hey, 30 seconds and we're pissed off at the world.
I try not to highlight the idiocy. But if you watch the games, G2 plays the best club soccer in the organization, which should be a complete embarrassment for the people who make the financial business decisions, the people who spend the money, the people who somehow paid like $800,000 less for Javier Hernandez in 2020 than Manchester United paid for him from Chivas Guadalajara. Those people should be fucking embarrassed of the awful job they do. But the bottom line is G2 plays better soccer than they do. G2 plays more attractive, more successful soccer than the first team does. By far. It's not even close. So I love Robbie. I don't want to do anything to rock that boat right now. There's kids coming through at the right level. Cuevas, Isaac Bawa, Jalen Neal, Jonathan Perez, even Ivan Gutierrez. I don't know why I keep calling him even. Ivan Gutierrez, Augie Williams, Caleb Sue, although, Carson Klein, although, Adam Saldana, Alejandro Alvarado. Like, that's just a couple, man. That's leaving out Jorge Hernandez. That's leaving out Sebastian Hernandez. That's leaving out quality fucking ballers, man. It's not, it's, again, to Andrew's joke, man, I get it, but watch G2. You're going to enjoy the Galaxy a whole lot more than you do if you watch it. You know why I'm not so angry about the season? I watch the future, and the future is fucking bright. The future is really, really, really bright. Now might be miserable, but I got a buddy who's an MLS exec, and he said a quote that I just loved. I thought was perfect. The beauty of being an LA Galaxy fan. This is a direct quote from a friend of mine. The beauty of being an LA Galaxy fan. You are always one successful transfer window from competing for a championship. That is not true at academy level. Academy level takes years. It takes time. It's a developmental system that takes time to work these kids into playing with each other. Those kids are good right now. All we need is a competent transfer window to be competing for a chip. So I love Robbie. I really do. And again, if we didn't replace Mike Munoz with someone who's working, I would be all for it. That's what happened to and I think it's what he's alluding to. Is what happened to Zidane at Real Madrid. He managed Real Madrid Castilla first. I like what they're doing too much. I would honestly rather let Robbie manage the first team and watch them lose for a couple more years, because by the time they're all done losing, all my G2 kids will be ready. All my La Masia kids in G2 will be ready.
Jazz and Geo wants to know. Well, actually, we're going to save that for a future episode. He just wants to know, who we would buy, sell, trade, players, coaches, that type of thing. If there was no limits.
If there were no limits, who would we buy?
Yeah,
Cristiano Ronaldo.
Well, yeah, we'll save that for
Zlatan again, please, for the love of God.
I know.
Hey, but you know what? If you hound Ben, what's the guy's name?
Jazz and Geo.
Jazz and Geo.
Yeah.
So when you hound Ben for this question, and then also send an explanation for your username, because I got to know what that's about.
Yeah, I know. You take a look at it, see if
I believe you. I just assume it's like DJ Jazzy Jeff from the Fresh Prince, and Giovanni Dos Santos.
Speaking of which, our next question comes from DJ JW40.
Oh, I know him. I like that man. It's good people. He seems like a day one. I'm not sure.
And this is something that maybe we should say for this is almost a whole Patreon show. Is and I think we did this last year. What gift would you get each player for Christmas?
Each player? You know what? How about this? We'll do that question. What's the guy? DJ?
Yeah.
We'll do that question for a Christmas episode. How's that sound? Didn't we do that for Christmas last year?
Yeah, we did that for Christmas.
I think we did something like that. I don't know. We'll figure it out. We'll do that. It's just too long now.
Hulk is under Galaxy radar. Do you think he's what the team needs?
No.
Not even if he smashes?
No. Look, man.
We could use a big green guy in the back.
Well, he's a forward.
Different Hulk. My
bad. Not the Incredible. Nah, man. You know what's funny? When I think about Hulk, I remember, what was Seattle's second year? 2010? I think 2010. I remember after I think we eliminated them in 2010. They were like, we're going to get Hulk. I heard we're going to get Hulk, who was like 20 at the time, 22, something crazy. And I was just like, what the fuck is wrong with these people? I mean, the Sounders were LAFC before LAFC was LAFC. Just the level of abject delusion. mind you, Hulk then went to China to earn like 300,000 pounds a week.
Yeah.
Like Sounders. Hard pass. As Andrew says in the live chat right now, hard pass on Hulk. No, thank you.
What if you get him for like just a regular deal, not even a TAM deal?
Like as a backup forward deal?
Yeah.
Like an Alan Gordon kind of signing?
Yeah.
All day. Drop Ethan to the reserves, and Hulk plays every game.
All right. And our last question comes from Carlos Schmarlos. He wants to know, do you think Baby Yoda will end up...
No, fuck that. Fuck Baby Yoda, man. Baby Yoda's Baby Yoda is exactly what's wrong with fucking Disney. Every fucking movie is about selling some like stupid, small... Don't play any music. Every movie is about selling some like new, small toy bullshit. So the new Star Wars movie. No. The new Star Wars movie,
No, you
right?
gotta go.
Was BB-8 not enough? Did you watch the new Star Wars flicks? So BB-8's in the new one, right? Everyone likes BB-8. I think BB-8's fucking stupid, but everybody likes BB-8. I didn't even warm up to BB-8. I was just like, all right, like it's here. And it's here, and I'm at a point in my life where I'm gonna pay to see every stupid fucking Star Wars movie. In the last one, the last Star Wars movie doesn't make any fucking sense. They're like, hey, you know what there is? There's another fucking droid that no one recognizes, you've never seen before, you don't give a shit about, and you can't understand. Why? You know why? So they can sell another fucking stupid droid toy. That's why Star Wars is terrible. What happens? You watch the Marvel movies, there is the big stupid fucking tree that says its name every time. What do they do at the end of the movie? We're going to destroy it, turn it into a baby one so we can sell another one. What do they do in the next movie? Now it's a fucking adolescent. How is it an adolescent in like 2 years? That don't even make sense.
It's a tree.
It's a tree. Fucking trees, man. And then what do you got? You got the Mandarin, or Mandalorian. They finally give me something remotely goddamn similar to Boba Fett. And they're like, yo, it's Yoda, but it's not really Yoda, and his name is Baby Yoda. No, his name is not Baby Yoda. His name is the child. You know why? Because Yoda is not a species. Yoda is a character. And unless that child is Yoda's baby, and it's a Yoda Jr., it ain't fucking Baby Yoda. You're just too goddamn lazy and stupid to call it the child. It's terrible. It's terrible, and it is a sign of what Disney is doing to Star Wars. Star Wars was already on you know what? It's worse than the prequels. Baby Yoda for me, worse than Jar Jar Binks. I hate every person that posts them. I hate every single one of you. It's awful. And I watched the Mandalorian is like the only thing. I'm so goddamn angry. The Mandalorian, this is all my zen is ruined. The Mandalorian, only thing me and my 16-year-old son do together. Because he's 16.
Carlos Schmarlos.
He's
Just
16.
Remember that, Tom.
Is that the person who wrote this? Fucker. Because my boy's 16 years old, and like, you know, he doesn't want to deal with his parents. We're Star Wars, so we watch the Mandalorian. Mandalorian is fucking badass. The child is the worst part of that show.
Agreed.
Oh, it's awful. And look, this is the thing though, man. Baby Yoda is not made for me. I got that. Like my zen, my peace, that the healing that I'm working on is an understanding that things like Baby Groot aren't for me. Things like look up the name of the new droid from the Star Wars movies. What the fuck? Let me find that shit. New droid. What's the name of that movie? New droid, Rise of Skywalker doesn't make any sense. What rise? What Skywalker rose in that movie?
None. That's
the one kid's a solo.
Yeah, it makes no
the one
sense.
kid's a solo.
Yeah.
Princess Leia's a Skywalker. She
Well,
died.
yeah, well, I
the
guess-
other girl doesn't have a last name at all.
But he's like half a solo or half
Luke
a Skywalker?
Skywalker's dead the whole movie. Who's the fucking solo who's the Skywalker that rose in that movie? You know why it doesn't matter? You know why you don't know? Because it doesn't matter. Because it's a tool to sell the stupid fucking toy.
Okay, just that we're blocking Carlos Marlos. He's blocked from ours.
K2SO, man.
Can we block
Fuck
on
J.J.
Instagram?
Abrams.
Can we block on Instagram?
No, look, I'm not mad at him. It's not his fault. It's not his fault. Enough grown men aren't looking at other grown men playing with fucking Baby Yoda and going, hey, man, what the fuck is wrong with you?
I know.
There's not enough people going like, hey, you don't need Baby Groot on your car. You're an adult. You're a man.
It's playful.
But you're 30!
I agree.
Oh, my God.
I agree. Nice.
It's like, you guys don't understand what this shit does to me, man. The fucking porgs in Star Wars. The Baby Groot in Marvel. The child in Mandalorian. Every fucking thing Disney comes out with. It's like, and the thing is, like, I genuinely try to enjoy it because I want to have a good time with my kid. And then, like, K2SO pops up, and I'm like, fucking here we go again, man.
You know what, Tuck? I was going to suggest Good Luck Charlie because I've been rewatching that with my kids. It's what they do at lunchtime because, they're at home for lunch now. But in the third season, they have another baby, and it just ruin it for you.
Good luck. What is that?
It's a Disney series.
I never heard of it.
All right. Anyways.
Fuck, man.
Anything else, Tuck?
Yeah, you have questions on Twitter that you did not read, and we ask these people to post these things, and this is how we keep them engaged by going through it. And Matt says, I'm quoting Chris here, let people like things. Hey, man, like your things. Stop fucking sharing them with me. That's all I'm asking. I was good until this guy asked me this question. I had no problem with him liking K2SO
Carlos
or the child or whatever it was called. Carlos. I had no problem with Carlos being into his shit. I got no beef with you being in your shit. Stop fucking infesting my life with these stupid fucking Disney toys. That's all I'm asking. Keep it away from... Look, you don't want to go to an Angel City FC game? I don't give a shit. I never want to hear about it. That's it. I don't want to hear about it. If you want to go to every game, you want to be a season ticket holder at Angel City FC, cool. I just don't want to fucking hear about it. That's all I'm saying. I feel like my position is reasonable. Keep this stupid shit away from me and everybody's good. I'm going to ask you a question, Ben. I got to get off this or I'm going to have a fucking stroke.
All right, go for
it. Let me read. Vanny was also TFC. Should we demote Jovan Krosky? Absolutely. Andrew asked a great question. I can't believe you passed it up. What percentage chance Alex Akala plays for the first team at any point?
I would say what percentage chance?
Mm-hmm.
That's a greater than 80% for sure.
80? Oh, yeah. That's high. If
nothing else, Tuck.
If the goal is for him to go to City, presumably.
Well, yeah. Well, also, if nothing else, it's kind of like the Freddie Adu thing. There's enough hype.
I'm so fucking angry about those goddamn movies.
There's enough hype around him now that he'll sell a few tickets if you put him on the first team.
If he went straight to the first team?
Well, no. Like eventually, he's like Efrain. Like people are longing to see him. Remember before Efrain came up? I mean, people were like, "Bring Efrain." I mean, like you would see it all the time. People saying, "We need Efrain. Efrain should come up." He's this wonder kid. Yeah. This and that. And it's gonna be the same thing. There's gonna be all this hype around him. So I think that he's gonna play. Whether or not 15. He does great.
He's 15. Everyone's got to slow down.
Oh, I agree.
Everyone's got to slow down.
But dude.
Look, I'm with you. I'm guilty of it as well.
I mean, we don't slow down. I mean, if a kid is good at 9, we're like, oh shit, he's the American Messi.
Yeah, if he can do it, and let's remember he is American. If he can do it, I had nothing but peace and love for the kid. I hope he doesn't like the child. I hope he doesn't like porgs. But I don't know. I mean, it could be 50-50. If it's enough where City is realistically planning on bringing him in 3 years, he would almost have to be on G2 by this year. I would imagine he would need at least a year to 2 years at G2 level. I mean, you could see a year at G2, a year on the first team in the reserves at 16. Ooh. And a year on the first team at 17?
Yeah.
That's where I would hope Jonathan Perez could get. I would hope Perez would be, sniffing around the reserve leagues next year. Jonathan Perez should be playing reserve league soccer. He's a first team player. There's no reason he can't. I don't know. I want to give him 80 sounded high when you said it, but I want to give him a solid 75%. Yeah. Yeah. He should. He should. Yeah. I don't know.
You want to run through some of these other ones?
Let's do it. I'll try to be quicker.
All right. Is it safe to expect more of the same in regards to signings? That's Charlie Knott.
We don't know who the manager is yet, so that's impossible to say. I can tell you if you see similar ideology in the signings, then DTK is doing most of the world building, and if it doesn't keep working out, you all can slide closer to where I'm at on DTK.
All right. So if we do land Vanny, TFC players that come with him, what do you think?
Oh, I don't watch TFC. I should say I don't watch TFC enough to have a position. I know they got that one crazy dude. I can't remember his name. Pozuelo? I think it's Pozuelo.
Yeah, Pozuelo.
That would be nice. I saw someone asking if we could lure him. I can't imagine TFC would let him go unless they're absolutely gouging us. And so to that point, it might not necessarily be worth it anymore.
So your boy Decline's high on Tyler Boyd, on the U.S. men's national team winger Tyler Boyd. Think the Galaxy should bring him in? He's a Besiktas. Apparently, he's not getting a lot of playing time.
I would be fascinated to see the mechanism to make it happen. I would assume it would be a loan. I would love it. Yeah, we're gonna need. Look, we need a winger. Period. We need a winger. Period. We need a right wing player. Period. Whether what's his name? Whether Pavone comes back or not, we need some wingers. Or you're setting up for a lot of the same. You're setting up for Pavone on the left, potentially Leggett on the right. It's got to be someone. And if you're still waiting it out, I like the idea of bringing in a winger on a 1-year loan, and whether you have Pavone or not, doing a little more house cleaning next year, and having a little more money to maneuver with. Jonathan, I believe, will be out of contract next year. Cheech is 1 year closer, so if you're ever going to sell and try to get something out of him, that would be the year. I can't imagine we all assume it's Chivas Guadalajara. I can't imagine even they'd be willing to pay for him, or would be willing to pay a value the rest of us are willing to pay for, or the Galaxy are willing to accept. But yeah, I'm all for it. We got the other beauty of this time of the year. We have 17 rostered players right now. Tyler Boyd, why not? It's easy to dream. We don't have better than him.
Mbar says Jurgen Klinsmann is coach. Would it burn the place down?
I hope they're listening. I really hope. Look, I said a lot of things, and I want you to take them all to heart, mostly the Disney stuff. But this is really, really important in my eyes. I genuinely don't know whether Jurgen would be a success here. And I'm not the people who are certain about things. Like, I try not to speak definitively about things that I'm not definitively certain on. That's why when I tell you something that, like, someone told me that I'm in a position to share with you, take that shit to the bank, because I'm only going to speak definitively about things I'm definitively certain on.
You mean,
or at a minimum, I'm going to be able to point to you to say that's the person you need to go talk to, because that's the person who bullshitted me.
You mean like when we broke Zlatan was coming?
I fucking told him. Did I not tell you months before everyone else?
Yes, you did.
I'm saying. I try not to speak definitively. I will tell you that I don't know whether Jurgen would be a success here or a failure. I can't know that. He would have the ability to buy players, so I imagine he would be more successful than he was on the U.S. men's national team, because national teams you're pigeonholed to the players available to you.
So Uncle Dishwasher wants to know. Good.
They would do so much damage to their fan base by signing Jurgen Klinsmann. Period.
So Klein would never do it.
Do not do it.
Yeah.
Period. Don't do it. Don't do it. It's not worth it. It's not even to say he would be bad. It's not even to say he wouldn't work. And it's definitely not to say he would be amazing. People are going to lose their mind. They're going to lose their mind if he signed Jurgen Klinsmann. Just avoid it. His son's good enough. Just leave it there.
Uncle Dishwasher wants to know if you have a breaking point with this organization and the front office that would result in you boycotting the Galaxy.
Actively boycotting? Nothing. Yeah. There's nothing. If I found out they were sex trafficking, but I'm not at a stage in my life where I'm boycotting anything.
Well, he said like, for instance, like a rebranding to some sort of
if
FC.
they rebranded, I would be done. If they rebranded off of the Los Angeles Galaxy or the LA Galaxy, if you want to be real technical, if they rebranded off of the LA Galaxy, I would probably be done. That would be it for me. Look, why? Do you see Montreal's rebranded?
Yeah, I did.
30 fucking years of history. 30 years of history.
Yeah.
But that's why I keep telling people, man.
Although their rebrand is not for certain, they're not certain.
Seems like it's going to be Montreal FC.
Yeah, they're not sure they're dropping the Impact yet.
This is
they've gotten a lot of pushback on that.
Matt goes, Chris's breaking point is clearly Baby Yoda. It was on Disney for sure.
Well played, sir.
Well, yes, as always. If they rebranded off of the LA Galaxy, I would probably be done. I know that it's the shiny thing to do, and I know that, look, we have this would be my opinion. So I'm assuming the hypothetical is 2021 season or 2022 season. Galaxy are rebranding to blank FC, because that's what it's going to be. my assumption, and I might be wrong. I hope they're listening. I might be wrong, but I'm going to tell it to every person who will fucking listen to me anyway. My assumption would be that Chris Klein has burned such a massive fucking pyramid of money that the only way they could possibly recoup it is to sell brand new jerseys to absolutely everyone. The LA Galaxy is the most storied franchise, the most storied club at this point in U.S. soccer history. We are bigger than the Cosmos. It is not a contest. When you think of United States club soccer, it is the LA Galaxy. You bought David Beckham to the LA Galaxy for a fucking reason. Zlatan Ibrahimovic. The LA Galaxy was good enough for Zlatan Ibrahimovic. It ain't good enough for Chicharito. It's not good enough for Jonathan Dos Santos. It's not good enough for fucking Nick DePuy. If they rebranded off the Galaxy, I wouldn't boycott them. I wouldn't tell people not to go. I would probably be done. And you know what? I would be sad. I would definitely be sad. I would have a whole lot more time. So like maybe that would be nice. But you know what? There's another end where I think if they're listening, they may think, hey, we can finally fucking get rid of Chris Tucker. Well, which ain't the worst thing in the world. I get it.
What if they rebranded to and moved the stadium and settled in Long Beach, became Long Beach FC?
There is a Long Beach FC. They get their ass suit off, and I support them. They're on Twitter.
They should move. So they bought the name,
it's a different club.
Incorporated Long Beach FC.
It's a different club, man. You move. That's a different club.
All right.
Like if you move and rebrand your name, that's the thing. I love Long Beach. I love Long Beach. I'm an LA Galaxy fan. I support the Los Angeles Galaxy. Like right. That's who I am. My friends support the Los Angeles Galaxy. My family supports the Los Angeles Galaxy. I got a duffel bag full of jerseys, nothing but the Los Angeles Galaxy. Like,
dude, that's a big duffel. That's got to be more than a duffel bag.
Someone in the live chat said Chris would go all out for Newcastle. Probably not. I really, it's tough to say because I keep talking about it and I don't think people really understand. I fucking love San Lorenzo. I really love San Lorenzo so much. And Newcastle is I hate the Premier League. Like I'm really getting to a point where I fucking can't stand the Premier League anymore. It's not that it's like the soccer's not good. It's just it's so clear what it is. And I understand sports at its core is poor people arguing about the laundry of millionaires. But like with the Galaxy, like those are my thousandaires. Those are my dudes. That's my grass. Those are my stairs to walk down to get to the front of 138. Those are my fucking stairs. That's my track and field stadium. That's my son's track and field stadium. That's the stairs down to 121. That's my man John Arias's stairs. That's his son Arson's stairs. Like those stairs are for the Los Angeles Galaxy, And I might be incoherent or rambling, but some fucking executive who's done nothing but Hindenburg, my club, shouldn't get a decision to say we're going to rebrand to something else. Give me somebody successful. Or here, how about this? How about when you try to convince all the fans to rebrand, you have Zlatan do it? Because you're too much of a coward to try to do it yourself. How about that? Let's try that one. Maybe that works. This is a hypothetical. I'm going to fucking goddamn fucking porgs and the child and ruin all my zen.
Chris, you and I carried 2 hours without Ed.
I miss my buddy.
I miss Ed too. Damn it, Ed. Get some good Wi-Fi. I'm going to have to pay for that too, aren't I? I'm going to have to get Ed some fucking good Wi-Fi.
Hey, man. Look, don't buy one camera for a week and buy Ed's internet for the year.
All right, we'll talk about that. Anyways, Chris.
Yes, sir.
Where can they find you?
You can find me at ZeroCool138 on.
Are you still on Goodreads?
I am on Goodreads, man. I got some some mental health book recommendations for all y'all if you're trying to get into some I was gonna say a sewing circle, but that's not right. But I am on Goodreads. I'm getting ready. I just got this book called Unfuck Your Brain, using science to get over anxiety, depression, anger, freakouts, and triggers. So yeah, hopefully you'll see some mental health updates.
Apparently it's working.
Shook one.
It's working. It's working for you.
Look, I don't have any of those things you just talked about. And I got another book called The Unapologetic Guide to Black Mental Health: Navigate an Unequal System, Learn Tools for Emotional Wellness, and Get the Help You Deserve by Rahita Walker, PhD. So I am on Goodreads, and feel free to read those books along with me if you like.
Excellent. You can find Ed at EdTheZombie13 You can find me at DT Radio Ben or Old Man Ben 3. Again, go check out what I retweeted from Christian Jack when he talks about Greg Vanny. You can email the show at riotsquadcast.com. I think that's it.
Yeah, I think that's just about it. Patreon.com/riotsquadcast. And if he's still in the live chat, I'm not sure he is, but I did see him for half a second earlier. Bones. Big up on Theodore Robert Ramsey, sir. Congratulations on your grandson. Peace and blessings to your family. Bones is like a lighthouse in the darkness. When my ship's on the coast and it's trying to come into land and I can't quite see where I gotta go, my man Bones always turns the light on for me. So Bones, big congrats to you and yours. Fredo, happy birthday. Everybody try to be nice to each other. Happy Thanksgiving. And yeah, hopefully we'll be here next week. I doubt it greatly because I'm pretty sure it's a misdemeanor for me to drive home right now. So, and you know how they treat black people on the road when it's illegal. So, best of luck. Be nice to everybody. Much love. Thanks for listening. Thanks for hanging out. And bye.
Fuck you, Brian. Suck a dick, bitch. Woo!